We're back.
Piss bit.
Oh, we're just jumping right into it.
We're back.
Wow, we're back.
We're back.
Isn't this crazy?
I don't know if you recognize that voice over there, that beautiful man.
Which one? This one?
This
Oh,
one.
yeah, that one.
Yeah. So this is our season 4 opener. The last
Season 4.
Season 4.
last time we had these two smart fellas on, it was the season 3 opener.
Was it?
So you guys have been
I didn't know.
our
I didn't know that either.
season opener for the past 2 seasons.
Oh, next season?
It was 11 weeks ago. You guys were last on.
Wow.
So you guys
does
just,
not
like,
feel that long ago.
Continue to be our season openers. We'll just
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was for
What's our
anyone listening. That
designated
was Material World. For anyone who's been a long-time listener.
Which
That was a good episode.
it was a great episode.
So I mean, we'll see where this episode goes, but I'm already kind of thinking Material World Part 2 for the title, just
Yeah.
because it's the same
Oh.
2 people.
What
Well,
about chapter 2 or volume 2?
Volume 2.
Volume 2. Doesn't that
Pete.
sound so much more like professional?
I think we should change it because we can talk about more than what we talked about last time.
Well, I know, but
Let's
like,
just try to word for word repeat the entire episode.
all right. So we need somebody to
Off
go
the
and like
script.
pull up the episode. They got transcripts, right?
Yeah.
They
I
do
know.
actually. Yeah.
They do? Yeah. Hold up. How did the other one start? I think it was like really beautifully done. I think it was like angel music.
So before we really
Probably.
get started, does anyone want a shot?
Wow.
Wow.
I got some bullet bourbon here.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Okay.
I'm out. I'm
Ow.
off.
I know you're out. Let's get one of I already did this last week, but
Just as good
that's nice.
as the second time.
So while
here we go again,
I
man.
pour these, Trevor, would you like to tell your story? What happened last week after you had 3 of these?
Dude. It was like 3 or a couple more. I don't know why, but I guess for last week's podcast, my tolerance just went all the way down into like a big pit of hole.
It says
And
50%.
Pit of hole.
I mean, yeah, pit of hole.
big
It is a pit of hole.
A big piss pit. if
A
you
big
will.
piss pit. It was a big piss pit.
You want to hand that over?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, your favorite
Wait, I need
Jesus Christ.
your favorite podcaster threw up like 8 times. And
favorite. Whoa.
Your favorite one.
Rewind.
You threw up 8 times on podcast?
Not on the podcast. But after the podcast.
after hours.
Hold on, guys.
I-
I'm back.
I did listen to it though, and I do not remember the last 20 minutes of that podcast, dude. I was like, oh wow, this is like a whole
Cheers. Jesus.
Yeah.
whole new experience. But yeah, it was not good. It was not good at all. Haven't thrown up an alcohol in ever because it's my first time.
That's warm.
That was
Oh, thank God I didn't do that. I can see the eyes watering, dude.
My eyes? No, my eyes are chill.
No, those are watered, aren't they?
Look at
His
me.
are warm.
Yeah, no, sorry. I didn't even know. Look over to my right.
Oh, hold on. I gotta recover from this.
No, you're good.
So, if anyone didn't watch episode 21 or season 3 opener, this is Daniel and Nate. I don't know if you guys want to reintroduce
Yeah.
yourselves. These are
You
we,
go.
We kind of just
I'm Daniel.
It's gooey.
gooey
Yeah.
fit.
Gooey Fit
Gooey
Daniel.
fit.
I'm Nate. Not much
Sunday,
else to
by the
say,
way.
really.
Not much, yeah. You kind of have
So-
like a Dwayne the Rock Johnson kind of the
Oh, you like
turtleneck.
it?
And
You like
yeah, I know, I
see
noticed
it. I
that.
see it.
Wore it for the occasion.
Where's the fanny pack?
Oh, it's on the way.
Have you ever seen the
It's coming.
It didn't come today.
the Dwayne the Rock Johnson official YouTube channel?
The official
The official
Dwayne the Rock Johnson YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Is there an unofficial one?
Yeah, what?
No, it's
It's the
The
official Dwayne the Rock Johnson YouTube channel.
What-
YouTube channel.
What's he
Hold up.
posting on there? What about it?
I'll show you.
Oh,
I
is
need
it-
more
Is it
information.
nice?
It's nice.
The
I guess.
official Dwayne the Rock Johnson YouTube channel. There we go.
Let's pull this up.
So the last time the Rock knows what 9 plus 10 is. Sorry, nobody.
Play a better one.
If
That was a
nobody
horrible one.
yeah, I didn't
We're just
realize
gonna
that was.
watch it.
Do you guys have a laugh track?
The
for
Rock,
Reed?
the Rock does a math
We
problem.
don't have. This is so stupid. You're playing the worst one.
Dude, they're all
You're like
terrible.
The Rock is cooking.
What about The Rock comes back? The Rock returns. Or wait, no, okay, wait, hold up. The Rock leaves. Okay.
It's so okay. We're
And
done.
then-
We're done with this.
And then,
we're done with this.
and then,
Very
they did a
funny.
premiere. They did a
Very
premiere where
funny.
The
Moving
Rock.
on.
The Rock comes back. The
What's
Rock
up?
returns.
Hey, Trevor.
The Rock returns. It's a whole different one.
It's horrible.
It's The Rock.
It's horrible.
All right.
The Rock.
Dwayne The Rock
All right,
Johnson
all right.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, we're moving on.
So
That was a
simple.
terrible segment. Hated that.
So before we get into anything really big, what do you think of the setup? You haven't seen it yet. You
I
said
haven't. I mean, it's a little weird because looking forward, I'm just looking at
yeah.
nothing
you
really.
gotta strain your neck
I
a
gotta,
little
like,
bit
I gotta
to
contort
talk.
myself.
Yeah.
But it's comfy. It's comfier than what we had previously.
I miss the table a lot.
The table was
The
sick.
table was fire.
The
I
table was
felt-
sick. It was just the chairs sucked with the table.
I do feel like the table was more intimate, for lack of a better word. It felt more
Perfect
like
word. Perfect
yeah.
word. Oh, I
It
agree.
felt more real with the
I
table.
agree.
Right
we
here,
get,
I'm just
we
like,
get enough intimate though, so we don't gotta.
all right, yeah, sure.
I mean, goddamn. If,
Why am I sitting over here if it's the worst spot?
Yeah. What is even going on over there?
Can we cut this out?
No.
Unedited.
Really?
Raw.
I feel like it
Raw.
should be edited.
No, this is raw.
All right.
But
Okay.
All right, we're good.
So opening to season 4. How are you guys feeling going into season 4 here?
I
With
want to.
the-
I want to do some things differently.
Okay.
Like get rid of the corner slut. Don't think we need him.
I don't. I disagree. But
Dude, you
go
are
ahead.
way too mean to that guy.
He's
We-
way too mean to me.
he is unpaid, and he's here almost every week.
I
So are
think-
we. We're,
Hey,
we're,
doing-
we're-
let's
we're
read the
doing
whiteboard.
what he's doing right now.
Let's read the whiteboard.
Hey, don't be mean.
Okay,
Hey,
yeah,
don't be
no-
mean
no
at the
be
end of
mean.
Ramadan.
Kindness
alright?
is caring, okay? Not the Ramadan part.
It doesn't say that up there. It says, "Why did my eyes hurt?"
Trevor, I
This
don't-
what you're sitting on would not be here if it wasn't for his father's truck.
Ooh.
Trevor, I don't think.
Do we
you
want
give
to talk
corner-
about what you texted me? The last thing you texted me.
Not on the pod.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Sit down.
Hey, I don't think you give him enough credit. I feel like he pulls his weight from what I've seen.
No, he pulls his weight. He's a good.
He's a good little corner.
He's a
slut.
good little corner slut.
Yeah.
He does good things.
Yeah.
He just is also one of the worst people on planet Earth.
Dude,
Ah.
Like if there was like Hitler,
dude, read the board.
all I see is
Alright,
why do
anyways,
my eyes hurt?
Anyways.
Search skyrockets during eclipse. That's all I see.
Okay.
So, what do you guys? What's your approach on like guests and stuff? Because I've noticed for most of your episodes, it's kind of reoccurring guests,
Yeah.
kind of the same group of people.
Yeah.
Are you looking to
Our-
expand that, or is this like the genre of the podcast? We podcast with the same people but different couples. essentially?
I'd love to have some randoms.
Yeah,
It's
me
just, I mean,
We've thought about it. It's just
at least
hard.
myself, like, I don't got ways to talk to randoms really.
Mhm.
you
I
can't be
mean-
like, hey, we have a podcast.
Like,
Come to our house.
Why not?
I got
okay.
100
What's that
followers
ad?
on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh.
it's low.
It's 100 people. Dude.
That's
That's
100
100 people.
Well,
More
I
than
think
that.
even if you know someone, because it's you live here in a smaller town. If you see someone that's interesting and you kind of have some
Like a
relation with them,
crackhead.
yeah,
Mr. Z, next time we go to the bar, I'll recruit people from the bar. Yeah.
We'll bring drunk,
You want to
innocent
be
people.
You want to be,
to
on,
our-
you wanna be on a
Innocent people.
podcast?
I
You wanna
just
be
feel
on a
like
podcast?
if you could get some random people on, that would help a lot. It would be a lot more interesting for sure. 'Cause
Agreed.
A new voice, someone that at least we haven't heard for sure.
We're working on it. You know.
Not just
What
no,
the
no,
fuck?
back, no, no, back.
All right. This episode is already worse than Material World.
It's definitely starting slower.
That's all right.
It's fine.
It's
We'll
all
get
right.
there.
No, we want to get more random people on, but we also want to do. I know Corner Slut over there, Charlie, brought up just trying out different stuff while on the podcast, so it's not just us yapping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say if there's nothing to yap about, we can do stuff like that.
Okay.
I think it'd be really cool. I mean, we were playing this game called the Hot Seat, and I wouldn't do Hot Seat on a podcast, but we could do shit like that. We're like,
Yeah.
It's funny.
If we brought the table back, like some
Yeah,
some
yeah.
card
yeah,
games
if it
and
was
shit.
funny and
That'd be fun.
yeah,
Like we did some tier lists for a couple episodes. That was fun.
we could just gotta do stuff like that. Where
That's a great idea.
That is a great
Yeah,
idea.
the tier lists were really fun.
Mix
tier
it
lists were
up.
fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's season 4 opener. We don't need to do anything too crazy.
No, no. We can
Yeah,
sit.
yeah.
We can sit and talk.
We can
We can, yeah.
Season 4.
This is already gonna get in the views because it's the beginning.
The beginning.
So-
Beginning.
I actually want to take a what am I trying to say here?
One of those-
Step back to our last episode, the last time you guys were on, and the materialistic world that we talked about, because that conversation started by talking about how you were looking at a new car, or you were looking at a new car.
It was Nate.
Nate, yeah. So I don't know if you guys noticed out there.
You got a new whip.
I did not. So
He does, in fact, have a different car.
I have that is a 2024 Subaru Legacy out there. That is mine until Wednesday. I rented it because my car's in the shop.
Yeah.
But like driving that thing around,
Oh, it spoils you, doesn't
it
it?
makes it so hard to want to go back to
all,
my
that
2013.
shit, all that shit goes right out the window. That
Subaru
we said.
Impreza.
You want it.
It makes it so hard to want to go back.
And that's
It's so nice.
I think that's a big point of what we were talking about is it you have to like understand the materialism from what you need and what you want.
What
Like,
you want?
What you want. Like,
What you want?
you got these newer cars that has all these cool features and you know you drive it and you get spoiled with it and you're gonna go back and say, I don't want this piece of shit anymore, but it's like at the end of the day you don't really need it. You have I'm getting distracted over here.
Yeah, what's happening over
Dude,
here?
yeah, we got some explicit content in front of us
That'll
right
be on
now.
the Patreon.
Let me just say he's got smooth legs.
Patreon's crazy.
He's got smooth legs. It felt really good. Keep going, Nate.
Oh, like you gotta it's
Yeah, you can ask me to grab one.
No, I can't.
Okay.
It's also it's also like what you personally want.
Yeah.
It's what your personal beliefs think what lines up. If you think that you have to live this material world, you need the nicest thing year after year, then that's great, but that's not what is ultimately going to make you the happiest overall. Cuz that's what the point we were trying to nail is filling your life with the nicest thing year after year is not going to get you anywhere with your personal happiness. Yeah, it feels great and it's great to drive those new cars, but if you're not actually happy with what you have and what you are, then those materials don't really even matter.
Well, but let me tell you, when I can step into my car,
But fuck
and
you,
the-
Nate, because
the
car go
music,
vroom and it goes smooth.
when the music just starts playing and I don't have to sit there for 2 minutes trying to connect my Bluetooth over and over again, oh my god,
Dude, his whole
yeah.
thing is just the
It's-
Bluetooth.
It's pretty nice.
It's
It's pretty
doesn't give a
nice.
shit about how the car actually drives. He's like,
If
I
I-
could walk in.
He just wants music.
If I'm in a random place, as soon as I step in the car, the maps pull up on the touchscreen and take me home. I don't
It's
even
so
have to put it in.
It's interesting because I talked to my buddy about this a while ago, and I was talking to him. I'm like, well, how do I like put myself in a place where I have not? Because I like nice things too. I like nice
We all
cars,
like
nice
nice
house.
things.
Oh,
We
yeah.
all like nice things. So how do I put myself in a position where I can have nice things, but I'm not materialistic, and I still have good values, and I still am like happy? And he said, like, you have to just check yourself here and there. You have to, after a while, say you get a new car, new house, you have to check yourself and make sure you're not being selfish and that you're still making an effort to help other people and help the community around you and better, yourself or your family. And you're not just relying on these material. You're not getting sucked in to these materialistic things that you're acquiring over time. I think it's a good point.
Yeah,
I like
agree with
that. Speaking of Trevor, let's adopt a road, Piss Pit Road,
Dude, I want to so bad. They call it
Lit-
Piss Pit Drive.
Piss Pit Drive, litter control.
Are you talking about on the highway versus the road?
Yeah.
You're driving on Piss Pit Drive, dude. That'd
I
be
always,
so
I always
cool.
thought as a kid like that would be your road.
Yeah, you owned it. Same. I was like, adopt a road. Mom, can we do that?
Because they make it sound so cool.
Call that number, you can adopt the road.
Dude, right? Like, for free?
And you
That's
figure out you're
mine?
just picking up the trash. Okay,
Dude, I'm gonna put a toll booth on one end.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
yeah.
Passive income as fuck, dude.
What's going on over here?
Was that hard? Was
I
that a
just got a
hard?
photo
It
shoot.
was
Was that a hard ass
It was
photo? We
Do I
just-
look at you? Should I
Wait,
not look at you?
Wait,
Should I
no,
look
we
over
each
here?
gotta have our. Here, I gotta fix my hair.
I
We
was
each gotta have our
Yeah,
own.
fix your hair, Trevor. You want to talk about that?
Yeah,
or
Trevor, fix
no?
fix my hair.
I don't know how my hair looks. I really don't.
I know we don't do video episodes anymore, but Trevor has a buzz cut.
Oh wow, you just told him.
So what was the inspiration behind the buzz cut? Because
Oh.
I know
Oh, God.
our dearest friend got a buzz cut too.
Do we really want to get into this?
We're not gonna get to it.
I want to know.
You-
what,
okay, so
what
I think-
inspired you to buzz your hair?
Wait, real
I
quick.
You had a,
needed-
you
real
had a
quick,
flow
real quick.
going on.
I
think we
needed a
should make.
change.
I think we should make the cover of this episode Trevor's.
My
The,
bald
the
head.
picture I sent you.
Yeah. I was thinking
That's a
that.
good one.
The
I
George
was thinking
Washington cut.
You
Speaking,
need to
oh,
change.
you just ruined the
What?
surprise though. Fucking Trevor, I sent that picture to him,
Dude,
and
I
he,
knew it-
he
I knew
texted
it
me.
was him.
How did you get that?
Yeah, I
And
knew.
said,
I knew it was Daniel.
I don't know.
You took it when
Yeah.
I had the George Washington
Yeah.
cut on. No, I needed to change. I had a flow going on, but I'll grab a new flow.
Bro's done with the Justin Bieber phase.
Yeah,
You need to
We've
change.
all gone through a J Beebs phase.
we all have.
It's
And-
impossible for me to.
Needed to
Yeah,
change.
besides you.
I'm also gonna get gauges soon.
Oh yeah.
No way.
What?
Yeah,
Are
Actually,
you actually?
yeah.
I can't. You're such a memer. I can't tell if you're gaslighting.
I'm being
us.
genuine to God.
Okay,
I'm gonna
'cause
ask
you
my
were
boss.
gaslighting about the neck tattoo.
No, yeah, that was just in a moment. What?
Can we like take a group vote on that before you do it? or-
No, I'm gonna do it.
Nah.
Didn't need
know-
a group vote to shave my head. Nobody stopped me, by the way.
We literally did a group vote. We literally all were like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Okay.
I
Should I
know-
get gauges?
Well, when you get gauges, you can't go back.
Yeah,
Why don't you
exactly.
just pierce
That's-
them? Just pierce
that's-
them first.
That's
I
a
want a
perfect
person.
way to put it. Like, that's irreversible. Your hair is reversible. You know it grows back.
Gauges,
Gauges is
your
irreversible.
ears are stretched for the rest of your life.
Even when
No,
you
for
take them
sure.
out, you're gonna have those weird flops.
Little
and-
floppy
little
flops.
floppies.
No, for sure. Yeah.
What,
No,
what's up, Kaylee?
It takes a while to gauge your ears.
Yeah, you gotta
have to
stretch.
empty-
Yeah.
You gotta stretch,
You gotta
and you gotta
stretch
stretch, and then you gotta stretch.
I
and then-
just saw a video on this of like you have to just constantly put in new pieces like every I don't
Bigger
know,
and bigger
3 or 4
and
weeks,
bigger.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it slowly stretches your ears out. Be a whole
So
thing.
you start small and then you slowly just.
Yeah.
So I know it's not like I'm just gonna. Oh fuck it, cut a
Did you just
big
spill?
hole and.
Buddy.
Pow.
The drink was fuller than I expected.
hey, boo boo, what's up?
You should grow it out to be those big gauges that like with and you.
Oh, yeah.
With like the dream catchers.
Can I ask why you want gauges?
I've always wanted my ears pierced and
No,
shit
you
like that.
Okay.
I have.
Well, pierced and gauges are two different things.
Yeah. I was
Well,
about to
no,
say,
yeah, ears
completely
pierced,
different
and
thing.
then it went from ears pierced to gauges because gauges are way cooler and would fit my aesthetic a lot more than piercings.
How big are you trying to go with
Not
the
too big,
gauges?
not like maybe like that big.
Trying to go like
Okay.
dick size
Like-
What's
gauges.
that? What's
Dick
that?
size
Like,
gauges.
like a nickel?
Bro's
About- yeah.
gonna,
a penny.
bro's gonna ear fuck
that's a
us
dime.
up.
A little, like a little bigger.
That's pretty small.
He wants more.
I'm not
holes.
gonna get like ones that are like that. Like I'm not gonna fucking sit there with. Like
Okay.
I just want
Yeah.
like this, like just something.
I'm glad that went right over his head.
Yeah.
Oh, I ignored it. But yeah, just needed to change,
Trevor wants to be Tyler so bad.
So fucking badly, dude.
That's crazy.
That's so badly,
That's
and I am
crazy.
so close to getting there.
So where do you see yourself in 10 years?
With gauges.
Don't know yet. I should ask him in about 3 years. Don't know yet. Ask me
He's
where
only
I'm gonna.
7 years older than
I
me,
was
guys.
say,
You got
ask me where I'm gonna be in like 7 years.
Yeah.
Goddamn manager.
Manager of that goddamn kitchen.
Get that goddamn kitchen. But yeah, so
It's a good life goal.
it's a great life goal. No, obviously it's piss pit. Always.
Oh, yeah.
So who's Tyler?
His boss.
My boss.
Oh,
Our
okay.
friend.
You see yourself at Piss Pit in 10 years?
I do.
Okay.
I see myself beyond piss pit.
Where do you?
He's
Ooh.
gonna leave me, and I'm
Piss
still
Pit
gonna be
too.
doing this.
No,
Where do you
you-
see Piss Pit in 10 years?
Live studio audience podcasts.
I see that.
Mm.
Live studio. It's like more of like a brand than more of like a podcast.
This fit's like a brand. Yeah. It's
Okay.
like
We're like one
I
of
mean,
those
you
like
got-
we're
you
one
got-
of those like fun companies.
you got the
like
that
Smosh.
merch like
Smosh. Smosh fails.
Smosh.
No, Smosh is bad. We're like the new Smosh.
merchandise. Like if we go on like a boys like vacation, like we're vlogging the whole thing, and that goes on YouTube.
Mm.
Like content, but more than just podcast.
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 Okay.
That would be the dream.
And that's
Okay.
like if we're saying like the soonest that I want to do that personally, like a year. Give it like a year. Give us have like a year or two.
I don't know if we're gonna be that big enough for that by.
No,
I mean,
no. But
if
just
you
us-
really put your head down, a year is maybe you could get some good growth.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
But that's you got to work your ass off.
that's what I'm
for
saying.
sure.
Yeah, a year,
We
maybe
need,
two.
we need a GamerSup sponsorship. GamerSup sponsor us.
You guys would need to go.
You want those sponsorships yet?
It's on my notes. Gamer subs.
GamerSups. I already have a name figured out for our GamerSups flavor.
Oh, what would it be?
It'd be lemonade flavored, obviously.
Obviously.
And
This
then
flavor.
Yeah. Piss. It would just be called piss. It would just be called piss.
That's awesome.
It would just be called piss.
That would be gold.
And it would be like lemonade, or it would just make your drink yellow.
Yeah.
Lemonade.
And then we call it piss and be like amazing flavor.
Not drinking that.
I don't want to drink.
I don't want to drink this.
Hey, I would drink piss over guacamole gamer fart.
Well,
Which is a name for a flavor.
Yeah.
Do I have to drink one?
What is it?
What's
What's
your
your
favorite?
Piss or guacamole gamer fart. Fucking pick one.
Who is guacamole gamer fart?
I don't know who
I
made
think
that.
that's no. Who made titty milk?
Schlatt.
That's Schlatt. Yeah, Schlatt
Schlatt.
made titty milk.
Schlatt made like Goth Mommy titty
Russian
milk.
Badger.
Russian Badger made that, really?
Is guacamole gamer
No
fart?
way.
Okay.
I love this corner guy. He's right on it.
Smitty
Yeah,
made
he's putting
good.
in the work right now.
Smitty's flavor is
He's
just
real
called
good at
good.
his
It's
job.
just called good. It was gonna be like
Yeah, I love this
like
guy.
He was gonna do
old,
something milk related.
old
but
milk or some shit.
Yeah. Good is a pretty good name.
Good
for
is a
flavor.
pretty good name. Yeah. What is that? It's good.
It's good.
Like, no, what is it? No, it's good.
That's actually awesome.
And then they're like, oh, what flavor is yours? Piss.
Or there's Grandpa's Ashes. That's one of the flavors.
Grandpa's Ash is pretty good.
Biden's Lean, or just Lean, and there's a picture of Biden on the cover.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of weird flavors.
Gamer Sup's like G Fuel, but just so much cooler.
Way cooler.
Yeah, 'cause they just don't
we
care
just
about
broke
names.
bridges with G Fuel.
That's
There's
alright.
no chance we get a G Fuel sponsor.
They've gone too corporate.
I do want to
Honestly,
ask.
real.
I do want to ask. When do you guys think you've quote unquote made it, or what is success?
You'll never made it. Never make it.
Mhm.
I mean, he is cooking with that. There's like, I look at it like a sports athlete. Like, let's take Shohei Ohtani for example.
Okay.
He said his dream is just to play baseball. He doesn't care about the money. He just loves the sport, and that's all he wants to do.
Signs a $700
Then
million.
signs
good
a
mindset.
$700 million 10-year paycheck.
hmm But he's playing baseball. That's what he loves.
He said he didn't care about the money,
And he's
then he
reaping-
went
he's
to his
reaping the
biggest
rewards.
con- I mean, yeah. So like, realistically, he could play 1 year, take that $70 million, and run and be done.
Yeah.
You can retire with that. Your kids can retire with that. But it's not enough. It's never enough.
Mhm.
You just always achieve that next goal, and then a new one a new one starts.
Yeah,
and
no one starts. I mean, like,
So your success is that you've started this, pretty
Yeah.
much.
You've made it. You've made it
You've
already.
made it,
Yeah.
we've already made it.
and now
We've done it.
Now going forward is just you're just reaping the rewards of what you love doing.
Exactly. Like, I mean, our very first goal was getting monetized on Spotify. We did that, and then it was like hitting 50 viewers consistently.
Mhm.
We did that. Then it was like topping out at a certain amount of views. We hit 2K. Awesome. Like, there's always a new goal. And
That was
always,
sick.
Okay.
I would say our newest goal right now is just marketing. Like not like, but it's like, you know,
marketing ties in. Our newest
promoting.
goal is to actually start reaping some rewards from this, being able to put a
Yeah.
little bit of money, and it doesn't have to be a lot, but like
Just something.
something.
just to be able to, like, yeah, I'm making money off of just
Mhm.
talking shit,
Doing this.
doing this, just a little extra cash flow besides, my 9 to 5 type shit.
The
Would
9 to
would the
5.
goal be obviously to get this to a point where you can quit your day job?
Yeah,
Of course.
of course. That'd
And do
be
this full time?
awesome.
That's
That's
like,
the dream.
That's the
Okay.
dream, but
Okay.
that's the dream. It's a dream. It's not reality. We can't be like, this is it. They're like, fuck yeah, quit our jobs right now and just start fucking doing more of this, because we can do more of it, but a lot of
You got to
people,
get to that point first.
a lot
Yeah,
of people
exactly.
think that, like, once you start this, you're like, I'm gonna make it. Like, I'm gonna make it. I'm the best. Nobody else is having the exact same ideas as us, and everybody's having the exact fucking idea as us.
Yeah.
This is one of the most generic, basic things that you can do.
Yeah,
mean,
super, podcasts
super
are super
competitive.
saturated.
You
Super
you
competitive.
said it. Yeah, you said it in the last episode. It's super competitive content space podcast. There's so many. It's so easy to start one. So it's what puts you to the next level.
It's that consistency and always coming up with new ideas.
And honestly, it's the personality of the hosts.
yeah,
Yeah. And the
so.
guests that are
And the
on.
guests.
It's just
That-
a display of your personality.
yeah.
Which, if you're a shitty person, you're not going to get good episodes. Which is why when Daniel and Charlie were on, it's one of our worst episodes.
One of our worst episodes.
we were all
dogging
terrible
on
to each
Charlie.
other.
Hey, I will
I
say.
dogged on you too.
We've had episodes with Crawford where they've been great.
But
we've
you'll have
we've had episodes with Daniel where they've been great.
Yeah.
But the combination of the four, it just did not work.
It was
wasn't
just
there.
a bad day.
It was a bad day. It was a pretty
It was.
bad day.
I think it was first or second episode with the new setup, so we're still getting comfortable into the new setup, and it was rough.
But you gotta think that's beautiful in a way because that's just failure, and that's just what you can learn from, and what well this doesn't work, and we gotta move on from this. We can't hold our heads down. We
Holy
got
fuck.
This guy's a modern day saint.
Can I kill you so you can
Pretty-
become a
I
saint?
really want. I gotta bring it to the podcast, right? For season 4 opener here.
No,
No,
he's
she's
right. You need to fail to learn.
And we failed.
And we
And
learned.
you
We
will,
ha-
and
we have
you'll
been-
fail
we have
over and
been-
over again.
Yeah.
And we learned never to have
So,
Crawford and
can I-
Daniel.
Can I
I don't
ask
think
why?
that was the issue.
It wasn't. It really wasn't.
Can I ask why we ditched the cameras?
I want to know
Effort.
that too. Good question.
It took a lot of effort.
Okay, so to start, before we even get into effort, because
It was too hard.
that's not the. That's. I mean that.
It
yeah,
was too
but-
much work.
So, first things first, it costed $30 a month for the editing software.
Yeah.
When we're
Ooh.
not reaping any rewards from this,
What were you using,
Adobe.
brother?
Brother, you can
And-
use CapCut.
Brother,
for free.
CapCut.
We use like the free stuff, and it just doesn't. It's too big. The video files are too big. They're 30 to 60 gigabytes. They just didn't work. You needed a
Right.
bigger program. So $30
But
a
you
month.
were recording on your
And that's-
phone, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's $30 net negative. So we're like, okay, so what if we get cameras? Because the big thing was getting the video from our phones to the laptop or whatever we're using to edit. It took a whole day to process it, get it through, whatever.
Yeah.
And that was also through another app that Trevor was paying 10 or 15 bucks for a month. So this is all net negative because we're not making anything back.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, so we could get we could get cameras, so we could just plug an SD card in, and then plug the SD into a laptop. Boom, we fix that problem. But then we're like, well, we want nice cameras. We want to record 60 frames, 100 or 1080p.
You wanted to look good.
That's another 400 each for each camera. That's not a cost that we're willing to drop yet. So then, once you spend the entire day uploading the video from your phone, it takes for every 15 minutes of content, an hour of editing.
Okay.
So we're recording an hour and a half to 2 hours every episode. It's 6 to 9 hours editing every episode.
Why is the editing taking that long?
Because of the 2 camera setup. So we're like, maybe we can do one wide angle, but that just is unprofessional. You need the cuts
You need the
to
engagement.
keep the engagement.
That takes
exactly.
time. Yeah.
So you have to listen to the entire episode, and every time we switch from one of us talking to one of you guys talking, you have to pause, cut, listen to that segment, cut again when we start talking, and then cut that out, and it's just
okay.
that. So like right now you just said, "Oh, okay," I'd cut to you, and now I cut back to me, and like it's
I fucked it all up.
That right?
We're
and
back to you.
We're back to
this
you.
couch.
We're back over here.
Okay.
and now we're back over here. Like
Hey,
it's
that is like 4 or 5 cuts right there.
And I think what
Another cut?
a good takeaway from that is it's super important to delegate when you get more success because you can't do it all on your own. You want to
Exactly.
do it all on your own because
Exactly.
that's super personal and you want to say you made it, but it helps you so much to delegate and hire out other people to help you do what you love. And it's ultimately, you're paying people, but you're getting more success.
Yeah, I mean, what it comes down to is we bit off more than we could chew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it comes down to money. If we're able to start making some money off of this,
When?
we can either we can start hire an editor, or we can buy the cameras that we need to skip the uploading, or we can pay for the nice editing software to make it easier for us. Like, it's just it all comes down to money at the end of the day.
I think that
it's
if you're talking about like one of our big failures, that was probably the biggest one.
we
As of
we
right now,
started video a
was-
little too
I
early.
mean,
We
like-
started too early. We tried beating off so much more we could chew, and I remember I was pretty upset about it, like personally, and Charlie was. We were all upset about it.
Yeah.
How many
And-
video episodes did you get out?
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Wow. I thought
Yeah.
it was more.
Yeah,
Only
it's
2 or 3?
Only
Yeah.
a few.
Which are the last video episode I think was the best video episode because we did a lot more engagement with the cameras, which is what I liked about it, is that we were able
That's
to
what was really fun. Like,
engage with the camera.
there's
you
an
know, we could-
episode where we were passing around the Among Us plushie, and I think it was
Among Us.
Crawford who was holding it like showing its like butt crack.
Yeah.
And it was like pulling up to the camera, and it was like just a really funny
Like
segment.
the one where it's gone, yeah, where it fell.
Yeah,
And then
had
it cuts to you
we had-
guys, and you're talking. It cuts back, and Nikki has it over my fucking face,
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
Like,
What's
happening?
wrong with you guys?
dude.
What?
You guys are talking about the new opportunities with the camera. First thing is the Among Us butt crack.
Don't judge. It was funny. You don't understand that show.
You weren't
Okay.
there for the butt crack, man.
Yeah.
Obviously,
You're right.
you had to be there.
Yeah.
You're
had to be
right.
there.
I had to be there.
And then I mean, even just setup maintain. Like I mean, you guys can tell that our foam is fucking
Foam is falling.
going to shit,
Yeah,
and
Too many
like
podcasts.
it looks really bad.
it looks horrible.
Yeah.
And I mean, like going outside of what I was saying for the editing cost and the camera cost and everything. All this is again all our own money, just from like not piss pit, just from our own charges. These lights, all this foam, this table, the couches,
Which is the sacrifice you make to start your own thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
everyone talks about how like starting your own business, starting your own whatever.
You got to
endeavor.
spend money to make money.
You gotta invest. You gotta put in the time.
Whoa.
And it's a lot of time.
Whoa.
It's a lot of work. So
And-
I think that the low key, like in order to grow and get to the point you guys would want to get to, you would have to make those steps before, as to kind of what you're saying, like growing and getting to a point where you can afford to make those steps. You kind of have to work backwards. You have to invest into it.
See, and
Yes.
Trevor said the same thing when we were contemplating quitting video. He said the same exact thing, and
Thank you.
where my head's kind of at is, I think our voices alone talking is entertaining enough that we can get to that step where we're making money to be able to
Okay.
start affording the video. The video will make the episodes 100 times better, but I think
I do love that you guys tried it. They failed. Now you're adapting, and you realize what has to be worked on to get to that point again. That is great.
and
We're not giving up on this.
No.
We're not giving
No,
up.
no, no.
Pispit's making it to at least season 5.
Oh, more than that. The fuck?
One more.
Huh?
That's
One
2
more
months. That's 2 months.
At least next week.
At least next week. No,
So-
we're making this far.
Like,
No.
This is a day by day thing.
For me,
Yeah.
like we went going back to what we said earlier. My goal, my next goal with this is to start getting some sort of cash flow. It doesn't have to be a lot, but that's when I'd be willing to drop $800 on 2 brand new cameras to
Yeah.
hire an editor. I don't have to be making enough from this to afford those purchases. I just want to
you just
know
want to see that it's
that
going to be
eventually that money's going to be coming
Yeah.
in. Once it starts, it's not going to stop.
it's going to be worth it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
That's smart. Yeah.
exactly.
And that's the hardest thing with a brand and building
Can you
something your own.
stop? Sorry. Can you? That is really distracting.
I have not been listening to a thing you guys have been saying because my autism has been peaking watching all the lights flash. Why'd you turn it off though? Oh, nope. Slowly coming up. So for anybody not knowing, there's lights
The
behind
entire
Charlie.
audience.
You have to address the entire audience because
The
No camera.
Nobody knows.
entire
Nobody
audience.
knows
I'm
what's
so
going on.
sorry. They got lights behind Charlie. Well, because they know about the lights behind Charlie.
Anyone who's seen the video episodes,
Yeah,
this might
it's
be. You gotta remember, this might be people's
Yeah.
first episode.
There's lights behind Charlie and Daniel. And
If this is your first episode, stop listening. Go to episode 21 now.
Yeah, right now. There's lights behind him, like poles that Corner Slut bought us. Bought all of us.
can we call him something else?
No, he's Corner Slut.
Can we call him something else?
He shook his head to that.
He's just fucking with the lights. They're really, really bright and cool.
They're really cool.
need
really cool.
Hey, can you give me like a warm vibe? Like a,
Working on it.
yeah.
He's getting there, dude.
I want someone like chill.
You covering the mic doesn't do anything. We can all still hear you.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if you remember, but you were saying something, and I cut you
Well,
off.
I want to ask about.
Just forget
I
it.
feel like maybe a problem. I don't know if I like the word problem, but something about the video setup when you guys were doing it was just the setup in general, like where you guys are doing this at.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
For sure.
It is a hard space to work with.
Mm-hmm.
because like the cameras were really awkwardly set up.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I think to get the full benefit out of the cameras, you'd want to have them like further back.
Yeah. I agree.
To go
So-
off that, I think you don't want to make it too crowded in here.
Yeah.
Because once you got cameras in your face and you got all the, you already got a mic in your face and you're kind of like, it gets too crowded, then your guests get a little uncomfortable. Oh, there's that, and it's like it's not as relaxing and chill as it could
Exactly. I mean, we have the space we have for now. You know,
You're working
like
with
we
it?
said, with our next goal is money rolling in, and if there's enough money, you know, we'll have our own office space for this, our own building.
That's what I wanted to get
Uh,
to. Like, have you guys considered like getting a totally new space to do this?
That's the goal
That's
one
the
day.
goal,
I
yep.
mean, I've talked about it a little bit. My goal with moving out of my parents is to buy a house. I don't want to rent. I want to own.
Renting's fucked right now.
I want to own my own property, and I would love to have an extra bedroom for this.
Just a studio, just a room just for piss pit.
Just for piss pit.
That'd be
a
ideal.
whole
yeah.
room where, you know, we can have the camera set up and the couches and
Super cool.
all the foam for the acoustics, and, you know, put
Hey, don't touch
special put special carpet in there so it's not hardwood echoing off the hardwood, and, you know, have a TV screen that we can all see that is hooked up to Crawford's laptop, so whenever he looks something up for us or a video, you know, it shows right there for all of us on this TV. Like, that would be the
The
goal.
laptop he didn't bring with him.
That
I
would
can't
be
wait.
so game changing, bro.
I can't wait
Yeah.
to get to the point where I have to ask Crawford a question and he just pulls it up right there on the screen, answering it. Oh,
You
that's
know,
gonna
and
be
then,
great.
you know,
Dude,
and
that'd be
that
so
setup,
fun.
Crawford has his own mic, so he can answer the questions while we're still talking. So we don't have to sit here in silence while he's typing something in.
While you hear something
yeah.
going, yeah,
Exactly.
and you kind of gotta like turn it up and listen to it.
You know, that's the goal. And, you know, like Trevor pulling up the Dwayne The Rock Johnson YouTube.
Yeah.
Like being able to pull that up on a TV that we can all see. And
I'll do
just
it again.
Have a couple of those play.
Please don't.
I'll do
And,
it
you know, we
again.
have
Please don't.
we have an editor that can, while our video is going, he can plop that video that we show on our screen on the podcast, like just in the foreground. Like, you know, that's the dream. That's the goal.
I love that you guys have goals and you know what you kind of where you want to go with this. I think that's super important. Because if you just were starting this, you just like, oh, it's whatever. You're
Just
not going
talking
anywhere.
shit.
But the fact that you have goals in mind and you have aspirations of what you want this to be is super important.
Amen to that.
Amen.
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 Amen to that. So when are we shaving your head, Nate?
That's a good
whenever
question.
whenever you want to, I don't care.
Whenever you want to. All right. When we go back, because your
We'll do it
Shave
tonight.
car is at our house.
Oh,
It
you
is.
guys stopped there first?
What the fuck? We were
What?
home.
What do you mean?
When did you do that?
What?
No, don't worry about it.
No, when did that happen?
No, I didn't. Just happened.
No, when did that happen?
I'm always there.
Bro,
Yeah,
lives
what are
in the
you talking
walls.
about?
Dude, Mr. Z comes in and says, "So Nate's here?" I was like, "No, Nate's not here at all." I'm like,
Mr. Z, you know I'm here. Like,
So, speaking of the house, I have a really gross story that happened this morning.
so
we-
story.
Gross story.
We made breakfast sandwiches. It was fucking incredible.
GSO.
Who made them?
I have.
W,
no,
GSOW.
we all made them.
Gross
I-
story.
We all
W.
made them.
I brought it from my house, the Hamilton Beach breakfast sandwich maker. I don't know if you've ever seen it,
Nope.
but it's two hot skillets in these rings, and you plop everything inside the rings, and it cooks it all for you.
Sounds
It's
sounds like laziness to me.
I thought you were. I thought you
Yeah,
were gonna say
so-
that, and that's why your head's being shaved.
You throw your English muffin on the bottom, and then your protein. We did sausage, but you can have bacon, ham, whatever. And then you plop the first ring down, and there's a little divider. Then you crack your egg, then you put your cheese and your bread on top, and then you close it. You let it cook for 4 minutes, and then there's the thing that divides it, the space between them. There's a little handle, and you pull it out. Egg plops onto the protein, and you got like a McDonald's.
Hella fucking lazy, dude.
You got a McDonald's egg patty. Like, it's a homemade egg McMuffin.
I just want you to know, put me up against that little machine, and my sandwich will be 10 times better.
Nate, I want you to look me dead in the eyes right now and say, "You're goddamn right." But we will be done before you,
Yeah.
and we will be done with the sandwich, and it'll taste almost the
But
exact
what's
same.
more important, the love in the sandwich or the efficiency of how it's cooked?
It depends
I
on the
love it when
day.
you put it like that because
It
you're
depends on
right,
the
but I
day.
hate it.
I
You know, if
I don't like
if you
that at
work
all.
at 5 a.m. and you wake up at 4, it depends on the efficiency.
It does
Wake
depend
up
on the
earlier.
efficiency.
Wake up earlier.
Fuck that.
Fuck.
I
No.
already go to bed at 9
Nate's
p.m. to
cooking.
get 7 hours.
Take your pants off. Anyways,
so
as Nate takes his pants off.
we make these sandwiches, and they are hot outside of this thing, like piping hot. And I just decided to take a big old bite. I burned the fuck out of my mouth. The roof of my mouth is all burnt, and it blisters. I got a blister on the roof of my mouth. And I'm just like rubbing it with my tongue, because I just fidget all the time.
Rubbing it with his tongue.
Rubbing the blister on the roof of my mouth with my tongue, and then it pops.
This is disgusting.
He warned you.
I told you, yeah, it was a gross story.
I'll say I already know the story, so I'm not listening because I hate it so
The
much.
blister popped in my mouth.
Ew.
Yeah.
Are you
Which,
like
that
okay?
has never happened.
I'm okay, but like, it was not fun.
So, I just witnessed sexual assault.
Chat. I just witnessed something.
Chat,
That
that's
was my way
illegal.
of saying thank you, and
Wait.
Charlie knows it.
Is our episode this boring? Are you asleep? Is our audience asleep?
Who?
Our audience is your
Yes.
Is she your
Yes, girlfriend.
is she your
Wife?
girlfriend? Is asleep?
What? They've been dating for like a month.
Yeah,
I'm.
over a month.
I don't.
Is that girlfriend status?
Yeah.
Is that girlfriend
Yeah.
status enough for you,
Yes.
Daniel? Does that follow under the right category?
Did you? Were you like? Will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he
Yeah.
got down on one knee,
Hey.
did the whole classic
The
thing,
ring
you
and
know,
everything.
the
Yeah,
ring and
married.
everything, and said,
See,
"Will
I got,
you
I
be
got
my
the
girlfriend?"
ring on right now.
Hey, while we're
Oh, there you
here,
go.
Yeah.
while we're here, let's talk about marriage. What's
Oh,
your guys' What's your guys'
That's
No, let's not do
Unreal.
that.
What's your guys' points,
That's
opinions
unreal.
on marriage? I know. I want to hear Daniel. Let's start with Daniel
Let's start with Daniel.
Let's start with Daniel. Trevor, you want to say it?
because he's been in a long-term relationship
I'm in a long-term relationship.
and he's been going through the trials and tribulations
Trials and
of
tribulations.
a relationship.
Yeah.
And I want to know what your thoughts on marriage is at this point.
Are you asking like personally about my relationship or just in a broad sense, like
Let's
marriage as a
just go off
concept?
a broad sense right now.
Okay. Well, I will start off by saying I don't believe in soulmates. I believe that
Preach. Nah, preach.
I believe that you have to find whoever you want to make it work with, and you have to make it work with that person. And it's not about like, oh, we're just made to be together. We're just so perfect for each other. It's like no matter how great somebody is, you're gonna have to reconcile your differences because you're gonna have differences with everyone because everyone's different.
so it makes
so-
us human. So
Yeah.
we all have a different
Yeah,
Bro's
outlook.
covering his ass right now. He's listening.
I'm doing great.
He's doing great.
So
You're following the book. It's okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
everyone says marriage is hard.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. 50% of marriages end in divorce.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of the
Yeah.
hardest things to do.
And although I'm not married, I've always taken relationships very seriously,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always been very hardcore with
So
them.
when you date somebody, it's to date to marry, right?
100%.
100% all the time.
What's the
100%.
point to date if you're not expecting to marry that person?
Exactly.
yeah,
They see
But,
that end goal with them.
so many people do it. So
Yeah.
many people are just dating just to fuck around and have a good time, or
That's not
Whatever.
dating. That's
Yeah.
fucking around, but with a
Exactly.
label.
Exactly. So I think a big thing is like words do not have meaning anymore. Everyone takes marriage and sees it as something that you can walk away from, being a divorce.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just get divorced.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I don't like where this is going. Oh, this is a little hard
I
right
mean,
now,
it's
so I'm gonna
not
leave.
easy.
Exactly. But when you get married to someone and you are standing at the altar and you say, I do, meaning I will work with you
Till
until
death do us part.
till death do us part, you have to do that.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
Totally
And-
agree.
And something I've always told, I won't say her name just because I don't know. Something I've always told. I just said her name.
I won't say her name, but
Do you want me to cut that?
Dude,
I
yeah,
can't.
cut that.
I can
Hey,
cut
I
that.
just-
I
said it
looked
too,
you
so
dead
cut
in
mine
the
too.
eyes when you said that. You went, yeah.
you gotta cut mine out too.
Sorry.
Just that zoo.
I'm a.
Where?
I've had
Same
a couple
time?
I say it
shillings.
like 2 seconds out of reason.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All
Something
right,
I've-
I'll say it now.
Something I've always told my girlfriend,
All right.
unnamed.
What's her name?
Big
She doesn't have a name.
Big R.
Big R. Sure, we'll call her Big
Yeah,
R.
we got Mr. Z and Big R.
Something I've always told Big R is that
Sorry.
Something I always told Big R is that I would rather be miserable than split up.
Real.
Because
That is, yeah.
you have to work on it. You have to keep trying together.
Can you marry me?
I would love to. If only,
That is legal now.
if only I was gay, I would.
If only.
If only.
Hey, I'm not
Say
gay.
that like it's a choice.
It's not a choice. All right, it's 2024. I just wasn't born that way.
Amen to that.
You weren't hardwired.
Straight
be gay.
pride.
We have done some pretty gay things.
Straight pride.
Straight.
Okay, no.
So I'm gonna say.
Cut that out as well.
I'm gonna segue real quick. We'll get back to that.
No, we're not getting back to it.
I have a story that I'm not really sure if I should say.
Okay,
I'll
then
be
no.
real.
Yeah, keep
But
going,
no,
Daniel.
I'm gonna say it.
What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say it anyways. So, this goes back to at the bar last week, Mr. Z, when we went to the ski and saw Gabe.
You guys went to the ski?
Yeah, because
Seek help.
we only went there because my uncle was there and he bought us.
that
he,
whole thing?
hand's
he
so
bought
cold.
us a drink.
Oh, I didn't know that was at the ski.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So I was talking to him for like 45 minutes because he just likes to yap, and he was wasted.
Like uncle, like son.
He thank you. He was wasted, and so he's just mumbling. He's like just mumbling
Like nephews.
No, I know what I said, but
like-
nobody corrected me until
But
you.
anyways, he started talking to me about my family, which was kind of weird, but like I went with it. And he said we got into we were talking about my brother, and he's like I love your brother so much. I'm not gonna say his name, but like
of course.
and I love your father so much, and I'm not trying to talk shit here, but
Oh, no.
when your brother was 2 years old, I looked at your father and I said, "That is a flamboyant baby.
That boy is gay.
That boy is gay."
Oh my god! How did he know?
He's-
As long as I've known you, I've known.
The aura.
Yeah,
The gay aura.
It's just, it's not a bad thing. Stop. We're not laughing about it. It's
Negative
just,
aura.
Not laughing.
it's not a bad thing. Like
It's
you
not
can
at
just
all.
tell.
Charlie, hey,
because
you can still love your brother.
I do.
It's okay.
I
You
love
can
my
still
love my
love
brother. I'm not gonna get super into it, but yeah, I love my brother. But he said like when he was 2 years old, I told your dad that is a flamboyant baby,
Flamboyant is a great
and
word.
he looked at me and said, "How dare you fucking say that to me?"
Bam.
How? No, that's what my father said to him.
Your
How
dad
dare?
is homophobic.
No, he's not. Not any, he's a very Christian man.
Yeah.
He was homophobic. He has come to accept it. He has come to learn it. But at the time, he was like, "How dare you say that to me as a Christian man? How dare you?"
Christians
And-
hate gay people.
And they didn't talk for weeks. But I mean, come to find out,
Motherfucker was right.
11, 12 years later, he was right. And I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with that. But like you said, it's not a choice. You're born that way.
Dude, I didn't know
You're
this.
hardwired that way.
So you have a gay brother.
yeah, my brother's gay.
How old is
And
he?
he's 23.
You didn't know he was gay?
He's 23.
I didn't know he had a brother. I don't
He
know
lives.
that.
He lives in an
We're in
apartment.
his brother's room.
Yeah, he lives in an apartment with his fiance.
There's a bed.
And his
Who's a
fian-
man.
Again, I'm not gonna say his name, but he is awesome. He's the coolest guy.
Dope
you'll ever
as
meet.
fuck.
He's just a total guy's guy. Like he likes football. He likes
He's in our
baseball.
fantasy league. He's gonna be in our fantasy league next year.
Well, he just got born hardwired the way he is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not a choice.
Good.
And
for him.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's a devious topic.
Yeah.
Let's dive right into it.
I love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay.
I want to hear your dad's reconciliation and journey accepting your brother.
I'm not gonna get super into it.
Could relate with that, and
No, let's get.
I
let's-
mean,
I'll
I'll
get
say
into
some
it.
stuff, but I'm not gonna say everything.
We're
That's okay,
accepting
that's okay.
here.
You're
accepting.
Love is love.
this is a
Piss
good
pit.
topic.
There was a
Piss fit.
time, I would say, when my brother was 13 to 14, where the relationship with my father was not good because of that fact.
Mhm.
It was horrible. He was not willing to accept it. Whenever they talked, it was just shouting, it was just yelling. My father comes from people who are way more Christian than him. Love my grandparents, but super Christians. Every Sunday, every Wednesday, even during COVID, they were doing Zoom church. They
Christian?
Zoom church. They were yeah.
Christian.
they do the Christian like adopt a kid for like for a while they like figure shit out, like super Christian. And
What?
what do you mean?
That's adopt a kid.
Like you have a kid for like a couple years or like a year or like 6 months or whatever.
Never heard of that.
Anyways,
That's interesting.
my grandma, and again this is super controversial. Never gonna say any names. Great woman, just super Christian. She looked at my father when she figured out, and she said, "When are you gonna send him to conversion therapy?"
So, dude, I'm newly well versed in this topic.
Okay.
Conversion therapy, according to studies, does not work.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Because it's not a choice.
It's very harmful.
Yeah.
It is extremely harmful.
People trying to turn it back.
But you, I guess you gotta think about it in like, with the way that they were raised, in their mind that was okay, you know?
It was the way they
Like,
were raised.
It was
yeah.
the way they were raised.
I mean, you,
Yeah.
Which I don't think that you should fault someone for that at all. I don't like if they're willing to change, they'll change. But if they're not, then that is on them, and that is nothing that you can do to say like, oh fuck you, you know, whatever. Just
I mean, it goes
Let-
back to what you were saying about the relationships. People are different. People are always going to be different. There's always going to
Yeah.
be disagreements. It was
we
just
can't
the way
all
they were
we
raised.
can't all agree on the same
you know,
thing at all.
It wasn't okay when they were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would be the ones that were like, you know, would like we get made fun of and be like, oh, you like acceptance?
Yeah,
you like
exactly.
fucking being different? You like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
fuck you, go play some football.
You know, before we
Man.
continue this topic, I
They
will
say.
say, take everything with a grain of salt. We are 4 white straight males. So,
I'm Mexican.
well, Mexican.
I was about to say,
I'm just
you're
saying,
right.
I'm different and
You're
special.
white.
I'm white.
You're the
You're
whitest
so
Mexican
white.
I know.
So-
I'm white.
Just take everything with a grain of salt. But anyways,
Keep
Yeah.
going, you're doing good.
Anyways, let's hear your take on marriage.
I would love to be married one day. I know there's couples that, you know, they just date their entire lives. I love titles, and I mean, going to what you said, you date to marry. I every time I've been into a relationship, I consider that person my future wife. But that being
What are
said,
you guys looking at?
You're his
No,
girlfriend.
why
What are
you
you looking at
like
you?
Yeah.
there's I'm sure everyone's heard it. People say like, when you know, you know, and that sounds like fucking bullshit.
That
It
mm-hmm.
is the most just stupid thing you've ever heard in your entire life until you've experienced that.
I think when you know is very true.
It's extremely
Feeling.
true. It sounds stupid until you've experienced it.
Mhm.
And it is when you know. And like you said, I do believe in a soulmate, but going to what you said, you know, there's still going to be arguments with that soulmate. There's going to be differences. There's going to be disagreements. But knowing that, like, that's your person when you know, quotation marks here, because
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
have cameras, you're willing to fight through those arguments, get past them, and accept each other for who they are, to be a team in this crazy fucked up life and get through it together.
Yep.
Because living isn't easy. Money isn't easy to come by. Work isn't easy. Being a human is not easy in our current social
Society.
Thank you. And I think it is 10 times easier having someone to call your partner, having a team. And that's why when you get married, you know, you file taxes together. Your income is joint. My money is your money. Your money is my money.
Okay.
It's our money. It's
Okay.
because
You're a
Take-
unit. You're a unit.
taking
you are
this-
one person.
Exactly. Taking this life on alone is so much harder than having that teammate.
Yeah.
And when you find that soulmate, you're like different. There's going to be differences. There's going to be arguments, but
course.
you're willing to fight through them, to tackle the world, to tackle this life, to get through it together.
Yeah.
You're
That's
a
great.
team.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's 50-50. Everyone always
50-50.
says it, but it's 50-50.
I think it's a pretty modern perspective of like, not to pick on feminism or touch on that, but the thing of I don't need no man. I think it's very healthy for a man and a woman, for anybody.
A man and a man, a woman and a woman.
I think it's very healthy for anybody to rely on each other. We are social
100%.
beings.
100%.
We need to be together.
And I think society's kind of weaning off that idea of I don't need a man. I think that's a very big trend, but it's, as far as I've seen, it's come to a slower halt, and
Yeah.
it's become more of a reality. Okay, well, I need a partner.
I think
And-
society always like it's on a pendulum. So we were on a big like maybe society was very selfish, very all about you, love yourself, you don't need nobody, like you got it on your own. And people are starting to realize as they go through life that way, you do need people. You need your family, you need your friends, you need your partner. And that's the best way, because like I said, we're social beings. We need to have people around us, and we need to have people to bounce off of and support us and to support them. And it's a very healthy, natural way to be.
And that being said, the whole I don't need a man, I don't need a woman, I don't need a they, them, whatever you want to call yourself. I think you can live life that way. We touched about it in
What?
we touched on it, excuse me, in episode 21, that you can be whatever you want to be as long as you put your mind to it and work hard on that goal. Pispit can be famous if we really work on it. You can be the best tight end in the NFL if you're willing to put the time and dedication to it. You can be a famous
Unless you're
singer.
Kyle Pitts and you get
You-
stuck with Desmond Riddler for a couple years.
You can take this life on by yourself if you're willing to put the time and dedication into it. But being social beings, it makes it so much easier to have that partner, to have that
Yeah.
team, to have that relationship.
Like, could you imagine life totally alone?
Yeah.
If I dude, like if I didn't have like you guys, or if I didn't have my girlfriend or my family, I have nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that can kind of play into like the materialism aspect as well. Like you can have cool cars and you can have a nice
This
house.
is so being called Material World Part 2.
all right.
It can be.
You can have all these nice things, but if you don't have people that you can trust and that you care about and they care about you, why does any of that matter?
Real.
Yeah. So I think materialism, right? You were talking about having a nice car, but still like checking yourself and making sure that you are like helping other people. You can have those things, but as long as you have a good foundation around you in terms of the people you surround yourself with, and you're kind of sharing your fruits with those people, I think you're good. Because if you make it to the top, if you make it to that point, and you've lost everyone in the process, you've lost everything.
What have you gained?
I
You
mean-
haven't gained anything.
We have
Exactly.
real world examples of this today. I mean, you look at someone like, we'll just throw out Elon comparative to, as cringe as it is, Mr. Beast. You've got Elon, who is this self-centered, hot-headed. I mean, he's funny, but he's fucking
Super self-sufficient.
super self-centered.
He's on a mission.
People were making jokes about him on Twitter, so he buys Twitter. And then you've got someone like Mr. Beast. He's sharing those fruits. He makes a lot of money, but he's giving away Teslas. He's giving away money on every episode. He's spending millions.
The 100 wells.
Exactly, 100 wells in Africa.
That was one of his best videos. Loved
and
that video.
Mr. Beast is one of the most. I mean, obviously, I don't know him personally, but from what I see online, one of the most grounded people I've ever seen on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen any podcasts that he's been on.
Dude,
where
the
he's just-
podcast because
where-
he swears and he
where
has like
he's
a good time.
where he's just his real self, not being the kid channel YouTuber. Yeah, he swears, but more so than that. He seems like such a real guy. He's so grounded. He's so aware of who he is.
I think he's a
And-
great person.
Yeah,
I think
There's
he's
a
great person.
he's a good example of
You can
like we
also-
made the right person famous.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a video about him opening up his first ever Mr. Beast burger location. And this guy went behind it. It was like an hour-long video. He went behind the scenes with Mr. Beast and everybody's excited and he was stressed out. He was because he wanted it to go good for the people. He was like, nobody's gonna be able to get a burger today. We're gonna run out of food. And he's like, we need to get more food, whatever. And I think it was some producer or whatever of his came to him and said, you need to calm down. Nobody's gonna get a burger. That's okay. And he's like, I want everybody to get one. This is fucking bullshit. and like just the fact that he's putting other like people before himself is very like, you know, that's awesome, but also like worrisome for him. The fact that he is putting all these other people and like, you know, trying to make everybody else happy when it seems like he is stressed out
I wouldn't
with everything that's going on.
I
At least for
wouldn't-
that one video.
I wouldn't call it worrisome because he has the assets to put other people in front of his own needs.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, like, my father has told me since a very young age, you know, you're your most important person. What you want is the most important. You know, like, obviously don't be selfish, but your needs come before anyone else's. But I feel like if you get to that point where you have those assets, I mean, obviously there's always stress in life. And like you said, he was stressed out with that video with trying to get food for everyone. But if you have that money where you can relatively live stress-free, you know, you don't have to worry about making rent next month. You don't have to worry about your car payment. You don't have to worry about if you crash your car and you have to buy a new one or whatever. Then you can put other people's needs in front of your own. And you have those self-centered billionaires, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg.
Jeffrey Bezos.
They become so fake when you see them publicly, because they don't put other people's needs in front of their own when they realistically can.
They get consumed by their brand.
Exactly.
So a little off topic, but kind of on topic. I'm just curious. Didn't we recently have a first trillionaire?
Did we? I haven't heard anything about this.
Corner slip.
Charlie,
Probably some monk in Dubai or some shit. I mean, not to be racist,
shit.
but Dubai is a very wealthy country.
Yeah.
It's fake wealthy.
I firmly believe
Not
that
even, no.
the best way to live your life and the best way to feel fulfilled is to help others
Uh-huh.
and to
Think
be
so.
a people's person.
I'm sure,
It's
yeah.
very
I mean,
Christian code too.
it would
to
be
live
it would
by
be
that
awesome to
standard.
get like these people on one day if we're big enough. But I'm sure like Mr. Beast is way happier than Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Did you just
Because
say
he's
we're going to
giving
try
back.
to get Mr. Beast and Jeff Bezos on the podcast?
Imagine the two of them on. The two of them.
All right, Jeff. What are you thinking about this topic?
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I totally agree.
Jimmy,
'Cause,
shut the fuck up.
I mean, and it goes way back to what you said. You know, needing people. What do you have if you just have a fancy car, a fancy house, but you don't have your family, you don't have friends? Comparative
You
to
turned your back on everyone. But you
Exactly.
got all these materialistic things that you were kind of working for. Like, what do you have? Like,
Yeah.
you just have a cool car, but okay, you don't have a family, you don't have a wife.
the people around you make you.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? Oh, okay.
All right, let's hear your opinion on marriage, huh?
Yeah, Trevor.
We sure we want to do that?
Don't ask
Yes.
him that. Do not ask him
You're,
that.
you're probably the person I'm most curious
Wait,
to hear
I'm
from.
curious too.
Did you find anything about the trillionaire?
There is no trillionaires currently living. It's expected to be Elon Musk. We have had 6 trillionaires in history, though. I'd say more.
Nate, would you like to go before me?
6 documented trillionaires.
I mean, if you really want me to. Okay.
Because I've got a lot.
You got a lot?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
They would just.
Not to put you on the spot.
No, you're
expecting
good, you're
me
good,
to.
you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
So, my opinion on marriage, I think, is very
Wait,
similar.
before you start, did our fourth audience member leave?
Yeah, he had to go do something with his dad.
Okay.
How
Continue.
did he
How
get
did he
home?
get out?
His dad picked him up.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
That's devious.
Anyways, continue.
Okay. So, my opinion on marriage, very similar to Daniel's.
My dog.
My dog.
Hi, bro.
Okay.
I think I'm a very strong believer in once you marry someone, that is who you're married to for the rest of your life, and you have to work through
Till death do us part.
till death do us part. You have to work through the trial and tribulations of that
Thick and
marriage
thin, bruh.
because you guys made a vow of to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think when you work towards marriage, say you're dating someone and you go through all these trials and tribulations and all these hardships of, oh, it feels like we're going to break up, oh, this shit sucks. But you guys sit down, you work through it, I think is just, and you guys make it through that, I think is super strong. I think that's what builds I think that's what builds a relationship is the hardships.
The arguments, the hardships, they make it stronger.
Yes.
Afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because you're not gonna find someone where you live this perfect life, no arguments. Oh, we're gonna get married, happy ever after, and blah blah blah. You have to go through those hardships to grow as a couple. And I think marriage is very put off in current date as a waste of time because a lot of people have the mindset of I'll find someone different. I'll find someone better for me, and that's not like. I had a very recent situation where I was with this girl and we worked together and I was talking about, I want to think about our future together, because I only date for marriage. I'm past the fucking around part. I've had my fun with that, and ultimately I've learned that when you fuck around with people, it doesn't fulfill me. It doesn't get me anywhere with my personal being. And it doesn't give me someone to lean back on just because they're kind of iffy. And so when I date, I want to have someone there for me. And I want to know they're going to be always there for me. And so when I have someone telling me, oh, it's not that serious. Oh, it's going to, we're just dating for fun. This isn't anything serious. That disheartens me because it's like,
sure.
well, this is a waste of my time. I want to find someone that knows we're in it for the long run and that if say we date for 6 months and a year and we have fights, but we always work it out and we just grow together. That's someone I would want to marry. That's someone that doesn't leave because it gets a little hard. And I think a lot of people leave when it gets a little hard because they think, oh, this isn't the right person for me. No, that's just growth. Because each person is not the same. No one's the same person. Everyone has their own different beliefs. And I think it's so beautiful when people can come together, two people can come together, and they can work out those differences for the sake of each other.
Yeah.
I care about you, you care about me, we're going to get through this, and we're going to make each other stronger. And that's where I think marriage is so beautiful when you find the right person, is because you're making a promise to someone that even if it gets the shittiest possible situation, we're going to work through it, we're going to get stronger together, and it's going to build into something beautiful that we appreciate later, and that even our kids can look upon and appreciate because they know, like, yeah, my mom and dad they're married and they're happy. And so that's why I think marriage is beautiful, and that's why I think it shouldn't be lost and it shouldn't be taken for granted because it's really something we should cherish.
And yeah, two things off of what you said. And like me and Kaylee, and I'm sure you can say the same thing about you and your girlfriend. We get in arguments, not all the time, but it happens.
It happens.
It happens.
It's human nature.
We're both in the same headset where we can get past it, come to a common agreement, and move on. Yeah. And come out stronger in the end. And going to what you're saying, like you see your parents happily married in love still this day. I think that's the issue with our generation now in relationships, because and I mean it's just going to keep spiraling. It's just going to keep getting worse. 50 years ago the divorce rate was 25%. Now it's 50%. In another 50 years it's going to be 75%, because we base our core beliefs and how we carry ourselves in this world, our personality, it starts at your parents. That's who you're spending your time with as a child. You have friends, but you're not able to just drive over there whenever you want and hang out for however long you want and whatever. Like, obviously we're our own person, but you get your main personality from your parents. That's where
That's how you're raised. Yeah.
As a child, you're being raised. You're a sponge. You're gaining your knowledge from them. When you see your parents divorce or not happy, that's going to play a huge part in how you carry yourself in a relationship in the future.
Exactly.
You said I see my parents in a happily married. They love each other. That what am I trying to say here? And you said it's beautiful. Someone.
It's rare. It's also beautiful because it's rare these days.
Yeah.
If you have to find someone that doesn't congest your goals, but helps you fulfill them.
Mm-hmm.
If you find someone that contradicts what you're going after, and it's a headbutt of what I want to do and what she wants to do, then it's never going to work. If you can find someone that has their own goals but also supports yours, and you have your own goals and you can support theirs,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you get to this one conjunction of a being. You know, you get married because you guys have supported each other throughout the whole process, and you want to get married because you know further on down the line you're going to support each other.
Mhm.
And that's what you admire by that person, is like, okay, I'm going to get through my hardest times, but you're going to be there and you're going to support me through the whole thing, and that's what I love about you.
And this actually goes to a good conversation I had with one of my bosses at work just this past week. Really slow day, and we were just talking. And he actually listens, so he might be listening to this right now. What's up? if you are
Shout out
listening.
you.
We were talking. We were talking about relationships, and he was like, because he's been married for 11 years. I think he's 32 or 33, but I got you. You're good. And he says, prior to dating his now wife, he dated a girl for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And in that 4-year time span, his wife showed up. His now current wife showed up. And she was, like, into him, but he didn't feel the same. Like, well, he had a girlfriend. It wasn't that he didn't feel the same way, but he had a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's loyal. So he shuts it down. But then he realized after 4 years of dating this person, getting through those trials and tribulations, getting through those arguments, that this whole relationship was just him giving and her taking. It was just give, take.
Mm-hmm.
There was no
That's not that
mutual-
50-50 you were talking about.
Exactly. There's no 50-50. There's no mutual agreement. So he left, and it wasn't for his now wife.
Mhm.
That just so happened to be,
The
what happened,
situation,
the
yeah.
situation. But you gotta keep that in mind as well. Like, maybe you're willing to get through these arguments. Maybe you're willing to fight for this person, but like you said, you're able to they're able to help you with your goal, and you're still reaching your goal, and vice versa.
Yeah.
If that's not happening, that's not your person. They have to be willing to give you that 50
Yeah.
and not take 75 or 90 or whatever.
And also goes back to when we're talking about materialism, checking yourself. Take a step back from that relationship and be like, what is going on? What's the deeper meaning here? Is this really a conjoined function of I'm giving and she's giving and it's an equal party? Or am I giving more and she's just receiving and she's not giving me really what I need?
Mm-hmm.
Just having that ability to take a step back and analyze what's going on, and then this is going good, and then going forward with it because you took that step back, you took that moment to realize, this is what I want, this is who I want, this is how I should approach this, and we're kicking around
Among Us.
I think that is the Among Us that got
This is the Among Us that got butt cracked, that got flashed on camera. Some shit like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
So I want to take a quick segue prior to you saying your part, because I know it's going to take a while.
We're still gonna get to Trevor.
We're gonna get there.
God damn it.
But,
so we'd
We
forget.
thought you were out.
I don't
did.
have a huge amount of knowledge, but it's a lot more just your personal beliefs and conspiracy theories and whatnot.
Yep.
But I saw a really cool thing about aliens the other day.
Ooh,
I love illegal aliens.
So I saw. Oh yeah, I'll get you. Sorry, my bad.
Got him.
You got it. Cool. So
You're back in.
I saw this interview. I
At the
forget the
piss
guy. I forget the guy's name, but he was a very high up with the U.S. government.
Okay.
Works at Area 51, all that shit, and he leaves. He retires. I don't know if he retired or quit or fired, whatever. But he says that the U.S. government has been in knowledge of the existence and in the possession of aliens since the 1920s.
I've heard this too. I've seen this.
World War I, World War II times.
Yep.
They've known of the existence of aliens, is what he says. And I just want to hear.
Is this the guy that was on Joe Rogan podcast
Yeah.
that got kicked out from going to the area 51 and like I don't know if he broadcasted it. I could be totally wrong.
I don't think he did.
But he went there, showed a group of people like what they're hiding. They had like a type of reactor that no man's ever seen, but it's like super complex. Is that
I
the same
do
guy?
believe it's the same guy.
I think
I could be wrong,
so.
but because again, take it with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Saying it again.
Yeah,
I do
don't know
believe
if
it's
I'm
the
right.
same guy, but I'm curious on what your guys' beliefs or ideals of aliens (quotation marks) extraterrestrial beings
Okay.
is.
I think it's a possibility. I'm not gonna like count it out as it's not a possibility. It's always a possibility. There's always a chance there could be something out there, and there, could be extra form. But it's like, how do we, and how do we adapt to that? How do we change to that? But I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, that's fair. I believe that, like, if there are aliens, because there definitely has to be another form of life like us.
In our
No way.
expansive,
I'm saying the entire
infinite
fucking universe
galaxy universe.
is just us.
Universe.
My bad.
Universe. But I
Yeah,
think that
totally.
if there are aliens out there, that they look very similar to us.
But
I agree.
what would we do if an alien life form came down and told us, "Hey, this is how the universe started. This is why you're here. This is why you're living." Like, what would we do to that?
You know,
We probably nuke it.
So here's the thing.
Probably would.
This guy, he said, like, there's very legitimate proof there. The U.S. government is in possession of alien spacecraft, UFO, whatever you want to call it, alien species, just extraterrestrial life. And the reason they're hiding it is because the society as a whole could not handle that. That would destroy many religious beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Just throw them into the trash.
Mm-hmm.
How can you... Whoa.
Whoa now, whoa.
Him, but I'm on
Bro said good.
Wow. How can you believe in a god if
Yeah.
this extraterrestrial life from a different galaxy comes down and tells you about their world and their beliefs
Yep.
and how the galaxy started?
It's crazy because I just watched a podcast, and they were saying alien life came down, and they proved, quote unquote, proved that Christianity or religion is fake, and this is the way the universe started, and this is why you're here. Like, say you're a Christian, you would need so much evidence, so
Yeah.
much proof to prove, like, Christ wasn't really what he was, and that all that he went through really wasn't, it was all a fab. You need so much proof to prove that was fake.
See, and I think, like, obviously people always still believe in what they believe in, but I don't think you need that proof. Just seeing whether they look like us or they look like green, big head, big eyes, whatever, just seeing a creature
You think that would
from-
just, like,
that would
cancel
just-
out all,
just cancel
everyone's beliefs?
everything, because if that is real and you're physically seeing it, whether it be on the news or in person or what, that was never talked about in any of the Bibles.
True.
I'm not super
Yeah.
informed in any religion, but I know for a fact there was no talks about extraterrestrial life.
That's true.
Yeah.
And how could you believe, like there would have to be some form of extraterrestrial life in these Bibles for them to continue believing in what they believe in, I feel like.
But I'm not saying that because there's no evidence in the Bible that it says there's no extraterrestrial life, but for them to prove that God didn't create them would be such an extravagant
For sure.
reach
Mm-hmm.
that it would be hard to believe. They would have to prove so much because there's so much evidence in the Bible that proves that God is real and that Christ came down and did what he did.
So then that goes into the subject. Obviously, if a alien came to Earth and spoke to us or just whatever, they would be more technologically advanced than us if they
Yeah.
were able to do that.
Yep.
So that goes to the belief of what if we are the most technologically advanced species in the universe,
Mhm.
and we are the quote unquote aliens. We're the first people to go explore other galaxies and go to different planets that are livable that have livable conditions for, human life or whatever life. And we go to those planets and we are those aliens, so to speak.
I think being pretty well versed in the Bible.
Were you doing that on your phone just now?
Huh?
Were you on your phone looking at stuff like that?
No, I was. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Damn.
I mean, the Bible never it doesn't go against that.
Okay.
But it would just it's similar to how we discovered that the sun revolves around the earth, or that the earth is X billion years old. It wouldn't necessarily help or line up with what's in the Bible, but it wouldn't destroy it.
Okay.
I think it would make sense, like, if God were to continue creating,
Mm-hmm.
like, I think a better and
Tell me what to do on my own goddamn podcast.
almost like harder question to digest would be, why would God stop with us?
Mm-hmm.
It would make sense if he were to make more planets and more people.
More
But-
versions of us.
Yeah, but I think religion it's a very self-centered thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we put
Interpersonal.
we put all the focus on us, on humanity, on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we did have proof for aliens, and you're saying this guy has all this proof, I haven't seen this proof, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we saw all this, it would definitely shatter a lot of that, of our, because humans are very selfish.
Yeah.
We're very selfish beings.
We're sinners.
We're sinners.
So in
We're going to hell.
in that regard,
Yeah.
the fact that you haven't seen proof of alien life.
Yeah.
Ready for the hard hitting question?
Yeah.
When have you seen proof of their religion?
Whoa.
When have you
Oh.
what?
Hey, before we continue, we don't have anything against religion here.
Nothing at all.
I mean,
No,
at least
nothing
me
at all.
personally.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at least
Why-
me
why
personally.
is that?
Me
No.
personally.
Not at all.
We're chill.
No,
No,
we're
we're
just
chill.
saying. We're just saying
But
that
I-
before I say it.
I
like,
mean,
What's up?
Is Trevor gonna give his opinion on marriage?
I
will.
really
We're gonna
don't
get
want.
there.
He will.
We're gonna get
We'll
there.
come back to
We'll
that.
come back to that.
Don't.
He will.
You don't have to go back to
Don't think you're getting away, you little rat.
Dude.
Please let him get away.
And yeah, that's a great question. I think we have to work with whatever we have.
Mhm.
And right now, I mean, we haven't necessarily seen proof for aliens or UFOs, like hard, solid proof.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think that would change a lot of minds, and that would change the world.
That
For
understands
sure.
why you said like the reason why the government wouldn't release that because it would shatter.
It would shatter society.
But also, I don't really know if I buy into that, because
He was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
why don't... Dude, he's on Joe Rogan. Like, wouldn't they want to just release that anyways? I mean,
completely
there's
disagree.
there's plenty of things that are world-shattering that happen that are released.
See, I
But none
disagree
of them are under the magnitude of aliens
because
existing. Like that's
yeah.
huge.
So, I mean, this is a very small part of it, but the churches, they're non-profit. They aren't a profiting business, except that. Oh yeah, I got you.
I forgot which one he was.
I think he's 4. But realistically, let's just be real here. Churches make a fuck ton of money
Yeah.
off of donations.
Yeah.
It's
that's
about
solely
money, not
that.
about the actual word.
So,
It's a organization.
and it's a taxable business at the end of the day.
A lot of
So-
them,
At the end of the day, if the government comes out and says, hey, extraterrestrial life exists, there is life in this universe beyond us.
Yep.
And people stop believing in their God, whether it be Christianity, Jewish, Buddhism, for Christ's sake, whatever the fuck you believe in.
for Christ's sake.
You know,
Buddhism for Christ?
people
What?
are going to stop going to the church. And it's not going to be 100% of people. It's going to be 50, 25%,
Yeah.
whatever. But there will be a massive sum of people that stop going to the church, that
Yeah.
stop donating, that stop that taxable income. That
Yeah.
is just less money into the government's hands
Yeah.
if they release that information, and at the end of the day, it's all about money. I mean, we're already negative 40 trillion billion whatever the fuck in
Yeah.
debt. So
Yeah.
it's all
Which
about money.
who are we in debt to? Fucking Jesus?
The aliens.
To
The
money,
aliens.
money that doesn't exist.
This goes into a much kind of a very different topic, but a pretty adjacent one of how I won't explicitly share where I'm at with my religious or,
For sure,
or spiritual
for sure.
journey, but I think
Don't fucking
I-
hit me next time.
I think religion is so valuable to society.
I agree.
I think
100% agree.
how do you convince a kid to grow up and not become a school shooter without God?
I might be. I might be straying away from you there.
That has been my greatest question.
I
of like,
might be straying away from you there.
That
I-
was a bit much.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I get where
I
you're
wanna
coming
hear
from.
it. I wanna talk
that
about
has
it.
to be one of the
But-
hottest takes.
I think it.
I'm not
comes,
saying it's a take, but it's a
Without God.
question.
It comes
Like a
down
hot
to
question.
it comes down to how you were raised. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, it comes down to your parents, the type of people that they were, and it comes down to the type of people that their parents were, your grandparents, and so on and so forth. I mean, and it goes back to talking about the marriage and the divorce and how divorce rates have been rising. Everything it is gradual as time goes on.
Yeah.
So if your grandparents were like semi bad people, like maybe they were willing to, they're not even bad people. They'll just go shoot guns in the forest at targets. Then their kids will go hunt and shoot deer, whatever.
Yeah.
Then their kids
We'll go
are-
hunt and shoot children
will
at schools.
Exactly. I mean, it's gradual, not obviously
Okay.
that to that magnitude.
Okay.
But everything is gradual. You learn from your parents,
Yep.
and they learn from theirs, and so on and so forth. And there's a quote that my boss, we already mentioned him earlier, told me: "Your kids will do everything you do, but 10 times worse."
Yeah.
So it's all just gradual. It's
So-
from what you learn from your parents.
I'm
Yeah.
a big believer in that religion is super personal.
For
I think-
sure.
I think religion is personal to where your beliefs line up with wherever that religion beliefs lines up. And
Yeah.
I think if you disagree with this religion, but you agree with this religion, and that religion, everyone disagrees with, but you agree with, I think you should follow that because that's what your personal beliefs line up with.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's the most important thing that people don't really think about is wherever you line up with is where you should follow because religion is super personal to you.
Yeah. So I'll touch on what you said and I'll backtrack a little bit. I think religion makes it very easy for us to follow a path.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
And that's what I
Yes.
mean.
Mhm.
That's what I mean.
Mhm.
Like the school shooter thing was a crazy line
A little
from me.
far, a little far. Yeah.
but that's just kind of in a broader sense of like it's so easy to raise your kids in a religion and it's so easy to raise your kids thinking that God is watching and God is judging.
Mhm.
Like that kind of forces people to act right.
Yeah.
And so
But you also have instances where you raise your kids in a religion and they rebel because that's how they were raised. And
yeah, it can go both ways. And I think on what you said, how religion is very personal. I think I totally agree, but I also think a big part of it is just like the truth. I think there no matter what happened, no matter how we were created or brought here, there is an underlying truth of how we got here and what reality is. I mean, because everyone that's subscribed to a religion is convinced that their religion is the truth. It's not just like a set of beliefs or like a rule book you live by. It's this is how we got here. And this is what is happening. This is how it's going to happen. And I think, again, back to what you said, a lot of how people interpret that is based off of how you were raised.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, again, religion just adds a clear direction for how you are to raise your kids and how your kids are to be brought up. And I think the one of the bigger things society is having to deal with as we're learning so much about science and so much about history that's just undeniable, and we're just I mean, kind of inevitably turning away from religion, turning away from God, is how do we continue functioning and continue to prosper without that? And I think that can also play into the marriage thing. A lot of people got married in a covenant with God. A lot of people got married because marriage has a big religious background.
Mm-hmm.
And without that, why not get a divorce? You know? How do you convict people to stick to their word and to be good people and to stay in their marriages without that?
It goes back to like everyone believes something. Even atheists, they believe there's no God. Everyone
Exactly.
believes something.
Yes. But atheists have they don't have a rule book. There's no atheist Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whereas a Christian or a Muslim or a Buddhist, any religion, their book will have instructions,
A set of rules, so to
a
speak.
set of rules. Yeah, which is why I think that religion is very that's my whole understanding of saying that religion is very valuable to society.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big part of why we see 50% divorce rate. I think that's a big part of why we see such a huge increase in like suicide and depression is all because of just the absence of God. And
Because that rule book is lost. They don't have that
exactly.
to go off of.
So how do we do that? How do we subscribe a rule book to humanity and to society without
So,
God?
you know, going to what you said with the rule book, I mean, it's not possible. And it goes back to talking about relationships. With everyone is different, everyone is in disagreement. There's no set of rules that everyone will follow. That's why, you know, Hitler's whole regime didn't work. Not everyone is willing to follow under the same person because everyone feels differently about stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've been dancing around.
What?
That's serious. That's real.
That was just a crazy contrast right
School
there.
Shooters, now Hitler.
What the fuck is this episode?
You know, I'm
been,
just
dude? What the
I've been
fuck?
dancing around it a little bit. I'm just gonna take the cat out of the bag. I'm gonna tell the story.
I'm a neo-Nazi.
No,
I love Hitler.
I don't believe in Christianity or any sort of set religion.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But I do believe in a God,
Okay.
and I've been very open about my journey with mushrooms on Pisspit on this podcast. There's one trip with two people I'm not going to name. I'm not even going to say their stage names. I'm not going to put it out there. But, you know, my head was everywhere. We were having a conversation here, a conversation there, listening to music here, watching a TV show here, and it was just all over the place. Every 15 seconds, I was just changing exactly what I was doing. And one of the guys there, they pause the show, pause the music, stop talking for a second, and they say, "Hey, we should meditate." And I say, "You're fucking crazy. My head is going a million miles a minute. How am I going to do that?" And saying this when I'm sober is so funny because I thought it was mind-reveling, life-changing. This quote that he gave me while I was high, he said, "Everything, all those thoughts that are racing through your head that you're letting out, just keep them in." And that was life-changing in that moment.
You were like,
I was
Whoa.
like, holy shit.
you're like, fuck.
So
Fuck,
he
okay.
he puts on that assisted meditating shit, you know, breathe in, breathe out type
Should
shit.
we meditate on the pod right
I
now?
think we should.
And-
I think that'd be really good for us.
I agree, let's do it.
I'm laying there on his bed, and as I'm meditating, you know, breathing in, breathing out, I my eyes are closed, and all of a sudden I start to see the room around me, and I'm trying to close my eyes. I'm like, because I'm like, the meditation isn't gonna work if my eyes aren't closed. So I'm like trying to close my eyes, but it won't work. And it's like the perspective I'm seeing of the room, it's like shutter speed. Like, you know how old movies, they were just series of pictures on a rolling wheel. It was like that. Like, it was like I was blinking extremely fast. And I'm seeing the whole room around me. And the perspective of the room starts to rise. I start to float, going up and up and up until I'm at the top of the room. And in that moment, I was staring. He had a poster on his wall. It was a black light reactive poster of space and these two planets. It was just pink and green, and they were like glowing. And in that moment, staring at that poster, I saw what I can only explain to be God.
What?
I met my, so to speak, God, quotation marks here, my higher power, whatever you want. You can put God as the label, is what I'm saying here. I met that higher power, and I tried to speak to it. It wouldn't speak back to me. But it was just, that was life-changing for me. That was such a spiritual journey, because at that moment, I believed in Christianity. And
So you met that God without the subscription of a religion.
Exactly.
You just saw God.
Exactly. And
Okay.
it wasn't, just white male, long beard, long hair.
Yeah.
I was staring into a space, so to speak, theoretically. It's a poster of space. And I met what God is to me, and I can't explain it. The best thing I could do is just say it was a glowing orb of light. That's the best thing I could to try to put it to words. But in my mind, that night, I met God. And that has changed my spiritual beliefs to this day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard an interesting perspective on how there is a God, and subscribing to any religion, all that does is it tunnel visions and limits your view of everything that God could be. And I found that really interesting, because it's not like everyone is lying. It's not like, someone like you, and there's countless stories of like a shroom trip or just a normal, any sort of sober, holy conviction that anyone's had of God. But the question is, like, how do you get to that, and what's the truth behind that?
For me personally,
That's fair.
how I looked at it was, and it doesn't specifically say in any Bible that doing mushrooms is a sin, but realistically, that
That's a good point.
in the Bible, that's not how he wanted you to live.
Mm-hmm.
You live a very, quotation marks, square life. You don't have sex until you're married. You don't please yourself unless it's your spouse. Your spouse is the only person that pleases you, blah, 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 blah. So seeing that being on mushrooms was my, revelation to, okay, I believe in a God, I believe in a higher power, but I don't think there's this set of rule books to it, so to speak. I look at the Bible as a book of rules, and not in a single one of those it explains my personal experience. So how could I go on to believe one of those?
Yeah.
I heard this quote, and it was, we're made in the image of God, because God is a spirit that confronts chaos and possibility and transforms it into habitable reality, which is you. And I think it's super important, because you are you because of a higher power. And it goes off of it's going off of free will, which we'll talk about in a second. I want to get into that in a second. But
Free will's great.
free will, but I think there's just so much proof that there's a higher power than you.
Yes,
And I think
100%.
it's very important to believe, set aside whatever religion you want to believe in. I think if you have the mindset that there is a higher power, that's a good mindset to have, because if you don't, you're a very selfish person to think, oh, I am just how I am because the universe made me this way, and
I am the highest power.
yeah, I think that's the wrong way to look at it. I think the right way is there's someone higher than me that's watching my every move, and I am this way because he made me this way.
So do you think that's kind of like a personal endeavor that everyone has to go on, or do you think one of these religions has got it right?
As I continue my journey into religion, I am getting further away from thinking that one of these religions has it right, and more that your belief in a higher power is what's right. I don't think, because it's hard, like Charlie was saying, there's so many different people with their different perspectives on XYZ. It's hard to subscribe yourself to one religion that you think is right.
Yeah.
But I think if your personal beliefs think there's a higher power, you can dive so deep into that, and that can help you in the long. That's better than thinking I am just how I am, because that's the universe and there's no one above me.
Yeah, because if any religion is right, then the rest are wrong.
Yeah.
That's what. And you said earlier there's a truth. There's an ultimate truth, and I think that ultimate truth boils down to a higher power.
Yeah,
And I think that's a good truth that everyone should go off of.
yeah, I think so too, because there's science and there's like studying and proving like natural processes, but did you see Cliff and Logan Paul?
I did.
You did.
It was a great podcast.
And Cliff said, "Do you know who Cliff is?"
No clue.
Cliff is like a super Christian, super pastor. He like goes around to college campuses and like debates
I don't
college
even think
kids.
he's married. He's just straight religion.
Yeah. He said to Logan Paul, science can answer the question what putting poison in grandma's tea would do to her, but it doesn't answer the question why I shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if grandma has a huge trust fund and a huge retirement lined up for me, why shouldn't I poison her tea and kill her and get her inheritance?
trust fund. Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's just the biggest thing I've been wrestling with, because I think my journey lately with God and religion has been very open-minded, but very all over the place.
Yeah.
Very sporadic.
Mm-hmm.
And if there really truly is no God, which is harder for me to buy into than just saying there. It's harder for me to buy into there not being a God than it is for me to buy into saying there is a God, but we just don't know how to get to him or what exactly that means.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there is no God, then like why should
Then why are we here?
why should I give Trevor his debit card back?
Right.
Which he did give me back finally after like 2 days.
Because of God.
Like why should I not
Did Jesus
rob
tell you that, pal?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the question is better phrased as like why do we have this unmeasurable sense of right and wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have an unmeasurable sense of like what we should do and what we shouldn't do? I don't know. It can go on forever.
It can.
You know,
it can.
We could talk about this forever.
We can.
Going off of that, segueing back to the aliens, actually.
Wow.
Funny enough, coming back.
Hey, we also need to segue back to marriage.
We'll get-
From
Yeah, we
Trevor's-
gotta get Trevor.
We
We'll
got
get
Trevor's
there.
point of
You're not
view.
getting off.
Dude,
Not giving
please.
up, boy.
I mean, I haven't been talking
So-
because I have absolutely nothing to say on
This
these
is
subjects.
This
That's
is
okay.
super. This
Charlie-
is super quick, and
Yeah,
then
say
we'll
your-
get there.
Yeah, say your thing.
So one thing I forgot to mention that guy, again, forget his name, was saying to the it goes off the right and wrong. Who like the good and evil. He was asked on the I don't, it wasn't him specifically, but it was someone talking about him on the Joe Rogan podcast, asked him if these aliens, came down to Earth, would they be good or bad? And he says, I don't believe they're, or he didn't say this, but how I personally believed it, like there is no thank you. There is no, their good and bad could be different. We have good and bad in our society. It's bad to kill people. It's good to, find the love of your life and settle down. Yada, yada, yada. Their good could be killing people. That could be a good thing in a alien society.
Yeah.
If, and I mean, that goes to even, like, serial killers. That's good to them.
Sacrifices.
So
Exactly.
do you think morality is 100% subjective?
Yes.
If morality is 100% subjective, then why is what Hitler did wrong?
I mean, it's personally.
What's up with this whole
Okay,
thing, dude? Like, why do
no,
we?
that's a great question. It's personally subjective.
Guess.
Societally, it's not subjective. We have a good, we have a bad. 99% of people can sit here and say what Hitler did was wrong. What John Wayne Gacy did was wrong. You know, killing people is wrong. Whatever you want to say, raping people is wrong. But you know, there's that 1% that will disagree. You know, it societally it is, but personally, it's not subjective. It can be whatever you know. That goes all the way back to how your parents raised you, how we talked about. Yeah. Anyways,
for sure.
Anyways, let's get to Trevor's point of view on marriage.
We've been here since the first 20 minutes of the episode.
Trevor's getting married.
Trevor
everybody.
has not said a word.
We're on 1 hour 44 minutes.
No
way.
This is season 4 opener.
We're finally
Season 4 opener.
It only took an hour and a half, but we're finally here. To Trevor's point of view of marriage.
Let's all listen. We're gonna have 90 minutes uninterrupted Trevor on marriage.
Just Trevor. We can
Point of
all
view.
leave
Yeah,
now.
we can
Just
mute our
Trevor.
mics,
Yeah, just
honestly.
mute your guys' mics.
You turned the lights red. That's fucking crazy.
Alright, let's hear it.
Because this, oh, dude. Okay.
love
I
it.
begged for this to not happen.
I know.
Here we
I
are.
did not
And
want
I
this to
don't
happen
give
either.
a fuck.
It's happening.
So let me just start with
Majority
like
rules.
I'm so ready to just debate the fuck out of you.
base level. Marriage is good.
Mm.
All right.
GUD,
Nope.
good.
Nope.
All
Nobody
right.
I
expected
have
me
nothing
to say that.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
And that's all for the Piss Pit podcast.
But it is one of the worst things you can do.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I love it.
Red lights,
I
red
love
lights.
this guy.
I love this guy.
260.
Now, marriage can work for sure if you and that
does
person
50% of the time.
If 50% of the time, that's a fucking terrible statistic.
It
And you
is.
guys have brought up like the reasons, you know, with like religion, with whatever, with the modern
Aliens.
with some aliens slapped in there for some bullshit.
I cannot believe we went from that to aliens. That is,
To
We went
religion.
from
To
that to religion to fuck Nazis.
and that's
And-
the Piss Pit podcast. That's what's
And
beautiful
we're
about it.
back.
There we go.
We're back. But
Materialism part 2.
I feel like the reason why I was the most hyped up, the most interesting, is because I am the not only person, but the most recent person here to go through something a little traumatic, to go through something a little interesting, to where my whole relationship beliefs and my whole kind of perspective of like girls and
I
relationships.
hope she's listening right now.
She
Hey, we
fucking
said
isn't. That
uninterrupted-
dumb bitch
uninterrupted.
probably isn't.
Let him talk. Let
Is
him
this
talk.
is this gonna turn into a
No.
therapy session?
No.
Let him talk.
No,
Let
we
him
did
talk.
that
Let him talk.
2 weeks ago.
We did that 2 weeks ago.
Let him talk.
No, we did that like last night. We're not doing a therapy session. I'm just saying, like, with my personal experience, like, marriage is good if you want it, and that if you find that genuine person. But in my experience, like my personal opinion, that person won't show up. That person probably won't show up. I don't know if you'll ever truly be 100% happy with yourself, and if you are 100% happy with yourself, it's because of outside sources, not just purely in your relationship. Because if you're purely 100% happy with the person that you are in love with, there's something fucking wrong with you. 100% something fucking wrong with you.
Okay.
Why?
Because
What if that's just love?
love isn't fucking real.
You don't think so?
I don't believe that
Color,
love.
alright.
What?
So I mean,
Now, love,
I think
love,
love
is such.
is the hardest thing to prove without God. You cannot prove love without God.
not
cannot-
necessarily.
You don't think
because
so?
you could say that I love money.
Okay.
Because you could say that I love my phone that I just bought. You know, love is a very contorted
I think-
word, and a word that we use way more now in society than we used to back then.
love is just a word, but you can't say that it's not real. You know, obviously you've just gotten out of a very tough situation, but you know, there's an emotion.
Decently tough.
There's an emotion. There's a feeling that you get when you're with XYZ.
I think there's
When-
two versions of love. There's the popular society, today's society version of love, and there's the deeper meaning, scriptural meaning of love. And I think you don't physically like emotionally love your phone. You materialistically love your phone. You materialistically
Oh my God,
love
we're back
this.
to it.
We're back to it. It all
Holy
comes
shit.
down. Continue.
Well, because like also another reason why I didn't want to like really talk about or like be a part of the whole marriage conversation is because I am far from even comprehending that at the moment. I don't
We
really.
all are.
We all are.
I'm farther. Don't fucking care. I think that marriage is one of these stupidest fucking things.
Okay.
I think that love is fucking bullshit, and I think that
Okay.
you should just be by yourself. But that is because of my own reasons, and
Okay.
I don't want like. Oh my god, he's going
Dude.
crazy with the lights.
There's no red flashing.
And like, obviously, like I'm happy for everybody who believes in that,
Mhm.
and that is awesome for them. And that's why I didn't want to talk, because I don't want to be like, fuck you.
No,
Fuck you for loving.
That's fine.
Fuck you for.
as we said, everyone's different. Everyone has
Yeah,
his opinions.
but honest to God, fuck you for loving that person. Fuck you for caring about that. That's the
Let me ask you
emotional standpoint that I am in right now.
Let me ask you this: where do you go without marriage?
You don't want me to answer that.
I want you to answer
I do,
it.
actually,
No.
yeah.
Where are you going
Where do you
without
actually-
finding that part?
Rather than answering that, where do you see yourself in 20 years on the aspect not of work, money, but in a relationship standpoint? Where do you see yourself in 20 years?
I hopefully with someone,
Okay.
but it's the fact that like mentally and personally, like I thought I found that one.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like I thought that I was set in stone, and I made mistakes and I fucked up, and I am no longer with that person.
Yep.
Like, with the whole soulmates bullshit, like, the girl that I was with would say that, that we're soulmates, blah, 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 blah.
You thought she was the one.
Thought she was the one, and then it's purely gone. Like,
Okay.
it's no more,
But
go
what
fuck
if
yourself.
what if that was just the sign you had to take that she wasn't the one? What
I
if
don't
that's-
want to believe that sign.
You don't want to believe it?
Personally. I'm
Okay.
being selfish, and I understand that,
Mhm.
but that is where I stand on that.
Okay.
See,
Is that,
I didn't mention this when I was talking about it. Obviously, like we said, you mentioned marriage and God and how till death do us part and everything. I think you can be theoretically quotation marks married, but not legally be married. You can have your person that's the one, whether it's your girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, whatever. They can be your one. I think marriage nowadays, now that there's a lot less people or a lot more people straying away from religion, marriage nowadays is more of a financial and legal decision. Like I said, you're a team.
Yeah.
Once you're married, it's our income, it's our taxes, and you can be married without legally being
So-
married.
I would say the only people
So-
that I think of, like, when I think of people that are generally married, because
Daniel, hold on. Daniel, you're breathing into the mic.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
stop breathing.
I'll leave.
Just shut up. No. The only people that I can think that are married because they love each other, because most relationships, like most marriages, have that big problem, that they're both avoiding. Like, I've had, like, experience with that with, like, family, friends, whatever the fuck. But the only people I can think of, at least right now, and maybe because it's such a young relationship and such a young marriage, is my mom and my dad.
Mhm.
And that's because they've only been married for about 4 years, 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, almost 5 years, almost 5 years. I know when they were married. Don't worry, almost 5 years. But like when I look at that, because there were so many times in me and my ex's relationship where I was like, I could see myself going the extra mile. I could see myself marrying this girl. I could see myself with a family, like living like that picture perfect life. But there was always like this
The white picket fence.
the white picket fence, baby.
Oh boy.
But there was, and I hated this. There was always just this thought in the back of my mind that was like, but you're not good enough.
Okay.
You are not good enough for that life. You are not good enough to do that with this girl or any girl.
Okay.
And the reason why we were so on and off was 100% me.
I don't
because-
think you're alone in that either.
I don't know, and I hope I'm not.
I think it's very common for people to believe that they're not good enough for XYZ. It doesn't have to be marriage. It doesn't have to be a relationship.
Yeah, just
it can be
good enough for anything.
Sport, like a sport. You've been playing you've been playing. For me personally, this is actually very personal. You've been playing baseball for 13 years, and you look to the kid to your right, you look to the kid to your left, and they've been playing baseball for 13 years, and they're better.
They're better.
So you have that
And you
thought in
hate
the back
that.
of your
You
mind.
hate that.
So
Am I good enough?
Let me ask: is this self-centered, selfish belief that you think you're not good enough for said person is leading to believe that marriage is corrupt and marriage is pointless? And
100%.
okay,
Because, like I said, there was a moment where I was like, you know,
so you gotta think that's unfair
And-
for the other person.
it
Right.
is, and I hate that a lot. You know, because even though I say that and like I have like this rage that comes up, I do believe at the end of the day, like I started off with the first thing I said, marriage is good. Because I do genuinely believe that marriage is good. It's that just with my mental standpoint, and hopefully other people can in my situation can understand that too. That like right now, fuck that. Fuck you if you're happy. Fuck you if blah blah blah. But also, don't be selfish and understand that they're happy and they went through their own shit. Like I'm not like, I mean, you and Kaylee, not upset at you two at all. You beautiful relationship. Like I'm not saying fuck you two for loving each other, but
Yeah.
I'm just
You literally did just say that.
I know,
I mean,
but that's what I'm trying to like explain. Is that like
It's like,
how-
no, like,
how-
genuinely good for you guys, but I fucking hate both of you.
yeah,
you.
no, exactly.
How I'm kind of interpreting it is like you are you believe in marriage and love, but your personal standpoint is
As of right now.
it's your fault. You're not doing something right. You're putting too much of it onto yourself, which is leading you to believe that marriage is bullshit, that love
Can
is
I-
bullshit, that it makes you mad when you see this. So it's like you're willing to accept that it's there
Fuck do the
Which-
green lights mean?
is the biggest part of, I guess, hope in the future. Like you're willing to accept that it's there, that it's but it's personal.
Can I hit you? Can I be?
No, please don't hit me.
Can I be?
Can I punch the fuck out of you right now?
Can I be pretty personal right here?
Sure.
I think what you're going through is a lot of emotions, and I think you're very emotionally,
Quite a bit.
very emotionally led right now because you were talking about anger, you're talking about fuck you, you're talking about, fuck you for being happy, marriage is bullshit, blah blah blah. Marriage is good, but fuck you, marriage is bullshit for me. I think this is your period where you can decide where it's self-growth and you can step back from this and realize, okay, maybe I'm being emotionally led. What's the rational reaction to this instead of reacting out of anger or reacting out of sadness? Because
Which I mean I've tried not to.
it's very hard. No, it's very hard to.
Just for context for everybody listening to and whoever doesn't know, the reason why it's so raw is it happened 3 days ago.
yeah,
Like it
It's-
is like as raw as it can be right now.
very hard.
So I'm trying not to let emotions take over, but it's so
That's impossible.
fucking hard.
It's hard.
It
It's
is
not
so
hard,
fucking
it's
hard.
impossible.
and I think it's important to
Yeah,
let,
it's
to
impossible.
like understand those emotions, but then understand them from a point of rationality of where, okay, I'm being a little too judgmental, maybe I'm being too quick to the point of this is bad. And
I'm gonna shave my head.
yeah,
I mean,
but you know
there's
what?
moments like that.
You know what I'm saying is, there will come a time where you'll look back and be like, okay, that sucked, that was hard, but what did I learn from that, and where do I go from that to make this better for me? And if it's not marriage, then that's personal to you. And if you don't believe marriage is the right path for you, then that's okay. But as long as you take away from what is the best step from what you have experienced, I think that's important to do. Because if you live this life of just pure going off emotions, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to judge what's right and what's wrong because I'm angry at this. Oh, I'm sad at this. Oh, I'm angry at this. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that. No, I do. And that's not the life I, want to live at all.
Yeah.
But it's
But right now
impossible.
it's hard.
It's
Right now
rough.
it's hard.
It's
rough.
rough.
And that's okay.
It's-
But that's what makes you better. Yeah. That's what makes you better.
I got a motherfucking podcast, dude. I'm good.
You got a motherfucking
I got a
podcast.
motherfucking podcast. It's cool.
It's where
alright.
you. It's
Hey,
where you put.
Pispit helped me with my breakup, and now we're here for you.
It's where you put
Yeah,
this.
now here it is for me.
It's
Woo.
what you do with this stored energy and where you put it is gonna matter.
Mhm.
If you put it into all your energy into being sad, into being depressed, oh I hate women, oh I hate this, then you're gonna go down the rabbit hole of depressed and sad. But if you put it all into something you're passionate about, good things are gonna come from that.
Mhm.
That's how you live and learn.
Live and learn, baby.
Live and learn.
I get
Yeah.
that.
You know,
Oh, no.
You got something to say?
No,
Okay.
No,
I
well,
appreciate. I appreciate you talking about this.
no, for
I
sure.
appreciate
Yeah.
you talking about this.
no, that is huge. But
I know you didn't want to, and I know you
Not
saved
really.
it for last.
Yeah, I know. Crazy last conversation.
with that live and learn, we are at 2 hours. So
Holy fuck!
I-
This is the longest.
you guys
Podcast.
were the longest previous episode,
Wow.
and now you're the new
It
longest
was
episode.
just running, dude.
It just
So-
running.
It's just running.
I do believe with live and learn, we should probably end it right
Can we
about
title
now.
it "Live and Learn"? Is that
Maybe.
maybe?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Live
We got
and
a
learn's
couple days to sit on the name.
We
Okay.
got a couple days to sit on it.
Okay.
It is a new season. You know, season 4. Season 4 is new beginnings. We're gonna try new
New
stuff.
beginnings.
We're gonna try new stuff.
I'm
We're
excited
gonna
to come back for season 5 opener.
We might have you back before that.
do- We
We'll
might.
see.
Really?
We might
Yeah,
try.
yeah.
We might try.
In
Okay.
11 weeks.
11 weeks. I appreciate you guys. Great
Yeah,
podcast.
thank you
Of
for being
course.
back. I'm glad we were able to make it work.
What?
apologize to Trevor on the pod.
He apologizes.
Hey,
Trevor?
Yeah,
you
come-
can here.
Come over here.
Come take
Come
my
over here.
mic.
Come over here.
Oh, this is good. This
This
is
is
good.
awesome. Season 4 opener.
Oh my god, are you pulling it all up?
Oh,
Oh
my
my
god.
god. Oh my
Season
god.
4 opener.
Holy shit.
I see a
Charlie,
paragraph.
60 seconds uninterrupted.
Trevor,
What's up?
I want to apologize for what I said earlier today. I was
Okay.
being insensitive and hurtful. I didn't take into account that you've already acknowledged your mistakes and what happened, and it was wrong of me to say it like that. You're going through a tough time, and the last thing you need is me adding to that. I really value our friendship, and I don't want my words to hurt it.
Oh.
Okay, not kidding.
Now
I don't
hug.
accept.
Kiss,
No, I'm
kiss, kiss.
I appreciate it. No, it's okay. You
Charlie?
said that, and I was pretty upset, but you know,
All right.
I shake his hand. Come here.
With that beautiful heartfelt message, just
Beautiful heartfelt
remember,
message.
live and learn.
Live and learn.
We're ending Piss Pit here. We're signing off.
Piss It
Season
Podcast,
4.
Season 4
Season
opener.
4.
Signing off.
Season
Signing
4.
off.
We're out.
I love you.